I am Sylvari. 25 years ago, my people first appeared in Tyria. The pale tree flowered, and the firstborn awakened. The dream contains my race's memories. We gain awareness here, and then awaken into the world. The dream fills me with knowledge, and is my connection to others. It is my inspiration, my guiding light. While here, I have discovered my purpose: to face evil and destroy it. Even now, I sense my destiny calling me to awaken. My time is soon. Nature and goodness are under siege. All life hangs in the balance. If Tyria is to survive, it will need us. If we fail, the dream will be consumed by nightmare, and Tyria will wither and die. I dream of battle. The voices of my people whisper of warfare in the storm of combat. I see a knight in armor, fierce with challenge. He offers me the gift of courage. The dream hints at my future. I see friendly faces, good and noble folk. They need me. I must keep them safe. A devouring force threatens all of Tyria. I will stand against that danger. On this, the eve of my awakening, I feel fire in my blood. And yet I sense darkness approaching. Something intrudes upon the dream. It blocks the path to my awakening. Before I can enter the world, I must first face this evil and vanquish it. I am summoned by the dream. This is my story.
Dreamer, I am Keith. I need your help. Can you hear me where you are within the dream?
Within the dream? What does that mean? Why do you look transparent?
I am in Tyria, a land far away. Soon you'll awaken here, but for now you live in the dream. I can't explain right now. We must hurry. Something is poisoning the dream.
Poisoning the dream? Of course, I will do whatever I can to help you. But why me?
Your spirit is strong. Do not underestimate yourself. Head to the far embankment, and I'll meet you there. Destroy the nightmare before it takes root. Finished. The dream is safe from this poison, thanks to you. See each other again.
Where am I? I was fighting a great evil. Are we safe? Keith! Where is Keith?
Steady, sapling. You just woke. You were calling out in your dream. Keith was just here, but she had to go speak to the Pale Tree.
She and I fought side by side against the poison in the dream. I saw the shadow of a terrible dragon, and I felt the dream call upon me to defeat it.
By the tree! A Wyld Hunt so soon, and such a momentous task. To be a Valiant of the Wyld Hunt is a difficult charge. Bear this calling with pride.
I will. But how do I begin? One does not simply awaken and rush off to face a dragon.
You start here in our forest. There were others hurt in the dream. They could use your help. Besides, it'll be fine training for a new Valiant.
I knew we'd meet again, young Valiant.
You know that because you saw it in the dream. What else do we dream that comes true?
Much, but not always what you might expect. Why? Is something troubling you?
Somewhat. In my dream, a champion in brilliant green armor defeated all challengers. He seemed invincible, yet a small mouse nipped at his heel.
Malomides, you are born of night, like this Valiant. Can you interpret the vision? I see both literal and symbolic images here.
I'll try. Did you see any other patterns in your dream? Stars or sigils? Did you...
Help! Somebody help me! That brute is killing my beloved! Stop him!
What? Where? Show me. A knight in full armor attacking defenseless innocents? That isn't right. Why don't you fight me instead?
I'd love to. I've killed many in my quest to find the exceptional individual who can defeat me. I doubt you're it, but we'll fight anyway.
My deepest thanks. Eladis is everything to me. Your courage saved us both.
Who was that knight in the green armor? I saw him in my dream before I awoke. I recognized him as easily as if we had met before.
Bersalak. He's terrible. He challenges young Sylvari to duels and then fights them to the death. When Bersalak insulted my honor, Eladis had no other option. He loves me, after all.
That sounds like a cat taking advantage of mice. He's prideful, and he's a bully. He deserves to be taught a lesson full of bruises.
That's it. The meaning of your dream. Like mice, young Sylvari fight Bersalak with no hope of winning. But you are different, Valiant. You can do more than just throw yourself on his claws.
Perhaps I can help you after all. Bersalak is wooing a Valiant named Gerwin. Unsuccessfully, I might add. She's been seen near Morgan's Spiral.
That is helpful, Dagdar. Thank you. I'll visit Gerwin and ask for her story. Perhaps Bersalak told her a weakness I can use. Excuse me. Are you Gerwin? I need to speak with you about a Sylvari named Bersalak.
Bersalak? He is a beast. He killed my beloved Evart. If you are his friend, then you are an enemy to me.
Just the opposite. Bersalak is attacking young Sylvari in the Grove, and I plan to stop him before anyone else gets hurt.
Oh, that's very different. You see, my love was killed in a duel with Bersalak, and now I guard Evart's grave. I wish only to mourn, but Bersalak plagues me with his lovesick mewling. I buried Evart here to get away from Bersalak, but even in Morgan's Spiral, I can find no peace. The Risen are everywhere, those horrible undead creatures. Even now, they're massing to swarm over this hill.
Bersalak is killing innocents. I must find a way to defeat him, to overcome whatever trickery has made him powerful. If you help me find a way, I'll help you guard Evart's grave.
You would? Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll gladly tell you everything I know. You see, Bersalak's armor... Wait, do you hear that? Oh no, the Risen are coming. Quickly, prepare to fight! There, my love can now rest easy, protected from the undead. As for Bersalak, he was always an exceptional fighter, but recently, he's grown invincible. After he slew Evart, my grief compelled me to duel him myself. And I lost. Instead of killing me, he demanded my pledge, insisting that I forget my true love. I could never find joy with a soulless tormentor like Bersalak. I'd sooner die and be laid to rest beside my dearest.
How do you think Bersalak became so powerful?
It's got to be his new armor. There's something different, something magical about it. It was forged by Occam, a smith near Brigid's Overlook.
Then I'm off to find Occam. Thank you. It was an honor to fight at your side.
Valiant. How unexpected. Nightmare courtiers attacked Brigid's Overlook. I came to investigate. What are you doing here?
I came to see Occam, but he's not here. He forged special armor for Bersalak. It may be the reason he's so powerful.
I see signs of a fight, but no blood upon the ground. The smith was kidnapped, not killed.
Whoever attacked this village must have gotten to Occam. I hope he's all right.
We can still learn a great deal. Look for clues. There may be more here than a first glance reveals.
Well, look at this. You're Kaith. You're the one Duchess Fowlan talks about. She'll be delighted to hear you're still alive.
Speak her name again, and I'll cut it from your tongue. Now tell me where they've taken the smith.
The Duchess commissioned a suit of enchanted armor from Occam. She wanted it for Bersalak, our newest knight. The armor was so magnificent that Her Grace ordered us to come back and invite the smith to join her court.
An invitation he undoubtedly wasn't allowed to refuse. Keith, we have to rescue Occam. He made the armor. He'll know how to destroy it.
True. Still, if he has fallen to nightmare, he can't be turned back to the dream. You've mentioned a girl named Gawain. Could she help us instead?
It's possible. Berserlac desires Gawain's favor. She could persuade him to remove his helmet and the protection it provides, but she's still grieving for her lost love.
Maybe the taste of revenge will cure her grief. Maybe it won't. Does it matter, as long as we stop Berserlac? We shall go to either Gawain or Occam. The choice is yours. This is where the Nightmare Court is holding Occam. If we are to save him, Valiant, then we must hurry. The court is very good at what they do.
Do you think they'll kill him? If they did that, then he wouldn't be able to make them any more suits of armor.
Kill? No. The court increased their numbers through deceit and corruption. They spread poison at the roots. Eventually he will listen to them, and then he will fall to their lies. It is the court's purpose to poison the Dream of Dreams, and thus corrupt the Pale Tree. The darkness we saw in your dream was one such attempt. They torture Sylvari, allowing the dream to absorb darker, more painful memories, both from themselves and from their prey.
Until he joins them, just to make the pain stop. I see. We'd better get him out of their grasp, immediately.
Agreed. Let's search the camp, and hope that Occam has been stalwart thus far.
Here to save me, I hope.
Occam? You're more bubbly than I'd expect for someone who's been tortured.
Them? Ha! Couldn't faze me. I knew someone would come. Left plenty of clues at the forge. Quickly now, and we'll go through the back, less guarded.
That's exactly what Keith suggested. How did you hear her talking from all the way over here?
Hear her? No. Simplest solution to the problem. Hurry. Courtiers will be here soon. I can forge a vine wall to keep them at bay, but you must move fast.
Wait for it.
I can't move. It's a trap.
Nice explosion.
I have to ask Occam, why did you make Fowlin the armor? Didn't you know she was of the Nightmare Court?
I knew, but she threatened me. Said they'd break my hands, leave me useless, take away my purpose and my joy. Still, once I saw what they'd done with my masterwork, disgusting. I should have thrown myself from the cliffs.
No, the lesson here isn't so simple. There are many strands in this tapestry, and yours is only one. Now that you are safe, we deal with Berserlac. Tell us, does your armor have a weakness?
Yes, to forge the armor, it had to be vulnerable to my smithing tools. My hammer made it, my hammer can destroy it.
Valiant, I propose that we use this information and challenge Berserlac to a duel. Then use the smith's hammer as your weapon, and smash him to paste.
Sounds good. I bet Berserlac would come for certain if he received an invitation from Gawain. Keith, talk to her and arrange the fight. Occam, bring your hammer. We'll hold a duel at Marban Market. I want as many witnesses as possible when Berserlac falls.
Berserlac, are you ready to fight yet?
A flimsy sprout like you will never defeat me. Even so, I'll teach you one final lesson in pain.
Last time, your enchanted armor made it a bit unfair. Face me honestly, and we'll see who's flimsy.
Victory! So the Nightmare Court can be beaten after all.
Never give up, Occam. Speaking of that, I fear the Nightmare Court may target you to make more armor. Would you like to come and live in the Grove with me? You'd be safer there.
Respectfully, I decline. Too much noise. You've shown me how to fight them. Now, I will.
I think I may take you up on that offer. I still mourn the loss of my beloved, but I can't stay by his grave forever.
Mourning alone only brings more sorrow. You would be welcome, and may stay as long as you like. You'll be safe there.
Safe. The Grand Duchess will soon find another way to draw the dream into darkness, and then none of us will be safe. It is her way.
It sounds like you have history with this Grand Duchess Fowlin. Did you know her well?
Perhaps once. But I don't know her anymore. Never mind. You've done well, Valiant. Enjoy this moment. Like all victories, it will fade. Come. Like Gerwin, we should not dwell on sorrows. One image in your dream has been resolved, but the other, the dragon, remains. It is time to speak with the pale tree.
Greetings, my valorous child. Kaith has told me of your deeds. I'm so proud of you.
I'm honored to meet you, Mother Tree. I dreamt of a Green Knight, and when I met Berserlac, I knew I had to defeat him. Is that because of you?
No, dear heart. I do not control the dream. I am simply its caretaker.
If you will allow, Mother, we would place the helm of Berserlac within our garden. I hope it will warn others not to fall to pride and nightmare.
An excellent suggestion. Let the lesson be that strength of heart shall always overcome strength at arms.
If I may ask, Mother, in my dream I also saw a fierce, horrible dragon. I've been told it is my Wyld Hunt to face this monster. Is that true?
I fear that it is. A Wyld Hunt is a sacred thing, a burden placed by the dream upon the strongest and the bravest of my children. In your dream, you fought an elder dragon face to face. Only 2 of my children have had such a dream, you and Kaith. All Sylvari fight the dragon's servants, the undead, but I believe you will face Zhaitan itself. I also believe you will prevail.
I understand, Mother. Thank you.
Be proud of your victory this day, Valiant. But remember, peace is short-lived. You will be needed again, likely very soon.
Greetings, Valiant. I want you to meet Traherne, another of the Sylvari firstborn. Only a few firstborn are called to wild hunts. I have the calling, so does Traherne. I believe he carries the heaviest burden of us all.
More difficult than fighting an elder dragon.
Our task is tangible, if dangerous. His is ephemeral. There may be no solution.
I'm glad to meet you, but I'm afraid we have no time for proper welcomes. There is a more immediate matter at hand.
Just before you arrived, a messenger brought news of 3 attacks by the Nightmare Court. I can aid one, Traherne another.
I'll take the 3rd. Where do you need me to go?
They're besieging the Warden outpost of Follius Thorpe. Make your way there as quickly as possible, Valiant, and lend a hand.
Before you go, a warning. On my way to the Grove, I heard rumor that the Nightmare Court is seeking something called the Harbinger. They are determined to find it, whatever it may be, and based on that alone, we must stop them.
Understood. I'll head to Follius Thorpe right away.
Who are you? Are you another of these murderers?
Calm down, I'm a friend. Who are you and what's going on?
My name is Malik. The Wardens took me in. They found me injured in the forest. I was here when the outpost was attacked. The Wardens said these creatures are called the Nightmare Court. They've set fire to the camp and cut down everything in their path. We're outnumbered, besieged, and most of the guard has been injured. I'm all that's left of the defense.
Let me fight with you, Malik. I know the Nightmare Court, and I'd be glad to raise arms against them.
I'll have to trust you. I've no other choice. But I warn you, the Wardens are under my protection, and I will let no harm fall on them. Help me drive back these villains, quickly. We must put out the fires before they spread to the forest. You fight well, stranger. I'm grateful you came along. I hope you'll forgive my initial mistrust.
It was in the heat of battle. It's understandable. Tell me, do you know why the Nightmare Court were here? It's not like them to attack the Wardens head-on.
I do. It seems that they wanted me. I don't know why. I've never met their kind before, and I'm certainly no friend to them. They kept calling me the Harbinger. When I resisted, the courtiers took hostages. They threatened to harm them if I didn't give myself up. I was willing, but Captain Banya refused to allow it. I'm a civilian, she said, and they were Wardens. I told her she was a fool, and now she's gone too.
Whatever the Nightmare Court is planning for you, I can assure you, it isn't pleasant. Come back to the Grove with me, where you'll be safe.
The Grove? Is that where your people come from?
My people? You mean the Sylvari? Malik, don't you know about the Grove?
No, I do not come from these lands. I appreciate your offer, but I won't abandon the Wardens. I'll go with you after they're safe, and the Nightmare Court's been punished. The courtiers said they were going to Joy's End.
Joy's End? Sounds lovely. I'll meet you there.
So, Valiant, you did show up after all. Tell me something. These courtiers, do they come from the same grove that you do?
We are all Sylvari, Malik. But they're of the Nightmare. I am of the Dream. You don't know the difference?
No, I've never heard of either one.
You remember the Pale Tree, yes?
No. Look, we need to get the Wardens back to Fallius Thorpe. Here's the plan. We infiltrate and sneak the villagers out. Then, revenge.
You're strange, Malik, but I like your style. Let's go.
I sent those fools to bring me the Harbinger, and instead they come back with whimpering Wardens. Pathetic. You there. You're new. Can you follow orders, courtier?
Me? Yes, ma'am. My lady?
Then you're in charge. Make these wretched Wardens talk. Do whatever it takes. Hit them so hard the Pale Tree can feel it. They will tell me where to find the Harbinger, or they will die feeding Nightmare with their agony.
My Lady Knight, may I ask, what is a Harbinger?
He is the Pale Tree's doom, and Nightmare's vindication. He is my dark hunt. When I find him, all will be made clear. Now go!
I owed these Wardens my life. You, Valiant, you risked yourself to save my friends, even though you've never met them. Why?
Because we are all Sylvari. We all follow the Dream. Can't you feel that we are related?
Feel it? No, I feel nothing, Valiant. Only a great sense of distance and loss.
You've been too long from the Pale Tree, that's all. When you return, she will heal your lost memory. Come back with me to the Grove, you'll see.
I hope you are right. I want to hear more about this dream. If your friends can help me, then I will meet with them.
Make your way south to the great tree near the shore. I will meet you there. We'll get to the bottom of this mystery, I promise. Kaith, Traherne, I have a very strange story to tell you. This is Malik. The Nightmare Court believe he is the Harbinger. Of what, we don't know, but they attacked those Warden camps to find him.
Malik is your name? You feel oddly quiet, strangely still.
When did you awaken at the Pale Tree? In what cycle? What did you dream?
Tree? I know no Pale Tree. I have had no dream. My first memory begins 2 weeks ago. I was lying by a river, staring up at an arched bridge. I was injured, and I wandered the forest from there, following the river until the Wardens found me and took me in.
No dream? Perhaps you've only forgotten it. If you were badly injured, your memories could be damaged or lost. Perhaps if we look into the dream itself, we could find them.
Or we could follow the river and locate the place Malik describes. Maybe we'll meet someone who knows him and memory will return on its own.
I must know who I am, to fight the Nightmare Court. Valiant, I trust you. Which do you think is the best method to find the truth?
My friend Amaranda spends her life meditating on the dream. She understands its nature more than any other mystic or firstborn.
If she studies the dream, why does she live so far from the Grove?
Because she is so sensitive to it. She can feel every ebb and flow, like the tide feels the moon. Only far from the tree can she gain perspective.
And this woman, your friend, you believe she can help me?
Yes. If the Nightmare Court has robbed you of your memory and connection to the dream, Malik, she will heal you.
And if they have not? What answer will she give us then?
Something true. The dream cannot lie. That is its nature.
It's all right. No matter what happens, we'll be with you.
Very well, then. Let us go.
My mistress, the Knight of Embers, was right. She knew you'd bring the Harbinger to this false seer. Thank you. You've done most of my work for me.
If you've heard Amaranda, you will find that the wrath of a firstborn is something to fear.
How quaint. Are you going to hit me with a book? You're not Kaith. You're not even one of the wardens. What are you, Traherne? A useless scholar studying a dead land?
And what are you but Nightmare's pawn? Watch where you're setting fires, or your own house may burn.
Enough! The Harbinger's coming with me, with or without your agreement. I know which I'd prefer. Courtiers, to battle!
Traherne, my friend. I thought you were another vision. You're real? You're here?
Be at peace, Amaranda. Are you injured?
Only in spirit. I could feel Nightmare's icy grip. But now it has gone, and I am warm once more.
We came seeking your wisdom. This Sylvari, Malik, cannot remember his dream. Can you help him?
Gladly. Here, let me look upon you, sapling. Let me gaze into your eyes.
This is the place. The Knight of Embers will be waiting to meet the Grand Duchess. If she is allowed to tell Fowlin the truth, the results will be disastrous.
Why, Traherne? What aren't you telling us? This is my life. I deserve to know the truth.
You're right. But yours isn't the only life in danger. I'll tell you the truth, and then you must make a choice. My research has led me to believe that the Pale Tree is not a unique creature. Legends say her seed is one of many found in a cave. That cave has never been found, but it seems at least one of those other seeds was planted. It sprouted the tree which bore you, Malik.
If that's true, there could be other cities of Sylvari, other groves.
Groves untutored by Ventari's tablet. Do those Sylvari dream, I wonder? What inspires them?
If Fowlin finds out, she won't need the grove. The court will burn the Pale Tree to the ground and find one they can more easily twist to Nightmare.
Yes. If that happens, the Sylvari race will be no more. Tyria will fall into darkness.
No, I won't let that happen. If I must die to keep this secret, I will do so.
Then we have only one option. The Knight of Embers must die.
Take a look at that.
Would you look at that?
Filth. This town will be your...
There you are. The Pale Tree told me where to find you. I have to tell you, Malik's tree...
We know. The Nightmare Court nearly found out as well. It is for the best that the Knight of Embers is dead.
Still, this is only the beginning. Even if they don't know the reason, the court will keep searching for their Harbinger. If I stay here, others will try to convert me to Nightmare. They'll discover my secret.
He's right. Fowlin will hunt him, and I promise you, she does not give up.
Somewhere to the west, at the source of that river, there's another tree. Maybe even another city, with more Sylvari like me, my family. I'm going to find them. When I do, I'll tell them about the grove, and I'll return with an army to help fight the dragons.
I wish I could go with you, Malik, but my duty is here. I wish you good fortune and safe travels.
Don't worry. We'll meet again, someday.
Valiant, the Pale Tree summons you.
Is there a problem? It sounds like there's a commotion in the Invalos chamber.
Those are the emissaries of the 3 orders of Tyria. There is a situation.
The Orders of Tyria? Who are they? And what's going on?
The Orders are organized groups that work against the Elder Dragons. The Vigil, the Derman Priory, and the Order of Whispers. Zhaitan's might is growing. Its undead minions rise on the beaches of Kryta and the Tarnished Coast.
Why are the emissaries arguing? What am I walking into?
To the north, Overlake Haven is in danger of being overrun. The Lion Guard are outmatched by risen troops. We Sylvari realize that all life is intertwined. If Zhaitan threatens one race, he threatens us all.
Then why are the Orders arguing? Why don't they just do something about it?
We think alike, you and I. Let us speak with the Mother Tree.
Greetings, Valiant. Today you take the next steps on the journey of your Wyld Hunt. Zhaitan's forces are gathering at Overlake Haven. The Orders wish to defend the location, but their plans differ. Valiant, I name you to be my herald in this matter. The Grove can only back one of these plans. May your dream guide your decision.
I am honored, Mother Tree. I will do my best.
My name is Branthan. I represent the Vigil. We can have a platoon or raid at Overlake Haven immediately. Our soldiers can handle this situation. In the Vigil, we prefer to fight our enemies head-on. The best way to protect the Haven is to provide military force.
You're asking to risk countless lives. Herald, the Dermot Priory proposes a far safer course of action. My name is Earworth. The Priory wants to utilize experimental munitions golems to destroy the undead. We'll have no soldiers on the field at all.
Completely untested munitions golems. You're the one risking lives. What if your golems fail?
And you, Emissary? You've been quiet through the whole argument.
I'm Kai, and I represent the Order of Whispers. I brought this situation to the Pale Tree's attention, but I'll leave the frontline fighting to the others.
Very well. Give me a moment to think this over, and then I'll decide.
Glad to see you, Herald. Here we stand, safe and sound above Overlake Haven, while the undead march on the field. We're outnumbered 20 to 1.
You sound cheerful, despite the hopeless odds. Are the golems ready?
I'd say the odds are in our favor, actually. It doesn't take 1,000 soldiers to win a battle. It just takes one very smart researcher.
Priory explorers do a great deal of research into abandoned laboratories, ancient ruins, tomb crawling, dungeon running. Ah, that's the good life.
Yes, Keck, that will be quite enough. You see, Keck found the original schema for these munitions golems. He's very excited to see them in action.
As am I. Is everything ready to go? Those undead are getting a little too close for comfort.
Ah, yes, sorry. Allow me to explain. These golems were originally created for subterranean expansion. They enter a tiny tunnel and then explode, creating a widened area. Keck and I fitted these models with deployable landmines. We pilot them remotely, right into the massed undead below.
Sounds brilliant. Let's see how they work.
Don't worry. We're quite safe up here, I assure you.
Herald, wait! Look over there! Do you see that? Utterly explosive! That should be all of them. Overlake Haven will be safe, with no loss of life. Magnificent work, Keck. The munitions golems serve their purpose admirably.
I'm extremely impressed, Earworth. The Dermot Priory is clearly an organization that values cleverness.
You're quite correct. And this is only a taste of what the Priory offers. Think of it. Shelves as high as an oak tree, filled with lore and wisdom.
Adventure, experimentation, ancient tombs rich with, exploration.
I see. Tell me, with your vast knowledge, could you identify that strange-looking creature on the road? I've never seen anything like it before.
Sadly, no. I was wondering the same thing. If Zhaitan has spawned some new horror, we must discover its nature.
Agreed. Let's return to the Grove. The Pale Tree is waiting for our report. I have good news, Mother Tree. Overlake Haven is safe, and the undead have been driven away.
Valiant, I was told about the strange undead you saw on the battlefield. I think I can help you. The creature sounds like a lich. From the description I was given, I think I can identify it as Mazdak, the Accursed.
Mazdak the Accursed? I know that name. One of my firstborn, Rhiannoch, went to destroy Mazdak many years ago. I armed him with a thorn from my own bow, a mighty sword named Caladbolg. Both were lost, never to return to the grove. Herald, it seems you have a chance to discover the fate of my lost son, and perhaps even avenge Rhiannoch's death.
Legend says that Rhiannoch chose a human to be his squire. If that squire survived, the Order of Whispers could find him. The Order's very good at tracking people down, even when they don't want to be found.
Untrustworthy as always. I have an alternate suggestion. As you may know, the Derman Priory specializes in researching and recovering lost knowledge. This sounds like an exciting opportunity to experiment with a ritual we've uncovered. If cast, it lets you witness the last moments of a person's life.
The mystery of Rhiannoch's death has pained the Sylvari since the days of the Firstborn. Knowing his fate would help to heal that wound.
Branton, does the Vigil have any suggestions?
Gathering information isn't our strong suit. Instead, I'll go ask my superiors how to kill a lich. I'll meet you back here when you're done.
Very well. Herald, the choice is yours.
Well met, Herald! I'm so excited about this, I'm positively tingling. The Priory does a great deal of research into ancient forms of magic, and this ritual was a real find. One of our explorers discovered it while tomb raiding in the Crystal Desert. I tell you, one learns the most amazing things as part of the Derman Priory.
Your order sounds tremendously exciting. How do we cast the ritual?
The ritual allows one to step through time and experience the last moments of a subject's life. You will actually tangibly be there.
Could I change anything? Save his life?
Sadly, no. Events which have already happened are fixed in time. However, there is one caveat. Although Rhiannoch's death is predetermined, your death is still mutable. The dangers will be quite real, and potentially lethal. You could die as well.
If this ritual helps me learn what happened, then I'll accept the risk. Just tell me what to do.
Press your hand to the earth. The swamp may have swallowed Rhiannoch's body, but it cannot keep us from contacting his soul. This will be a test of your courage, Herald. Good luck. Prepare yourself, champion. The ritual begins. Focus on the image of a wild hunter, accompanied by his human squire. He faces his enemy, a vast army of corpses. His struggle is your struggle. His courage, your courage. You are as one. Your breath quickens, and your heart beats faster. Your enemies surround you. Now, in this moment, you are with Rhiannoch.
We make our stand here. Forgive him, Mother. We were both too young.
Poor Rhiannoch, abandoned by his best friend. I can't even imagine how that must have felt to a firstborn who had never before experienced betrayal.
How tragic. The dream was young, and our predecessors knew little of the world. Rhiannoch couldn't possibly have understood what it meant to take such an untried human into battle.
Nevertheless, I cannot forgive Wayne for his cowardice. He didn't just flee, he took Rhiannoch's weapon. With Caladbolg, Rhiannoch would have stood a chance. Without it, he was doomed. Come, let's return to the Pale Tree and share what we've discovered.
Welcome back, Herald. Tell me, have you learned of Rhiannoch's fate?
I have, Mother. Rhiannoch died fighting Mazdak the Accursed, but his sword was stolen.
Stolen? What foul, contemptible foe dared steal Caladbolg?
It was no foe. A friend betrayed him. Wayne, Rhiannoch's squire. During the battle, he stole the weapon and fled.
Betrayed? And by someone he loved? Why are people so drawn to betrayal?
Wayne still carries Caledball. He's been using it to compete in gladiatorial tournaments.
I insist that the Vigil accompany you. We'll face this wretch in the tournament ring and thrash his hide. Our order is founded on the principles of courage and duty. I can't stand to hear that Caledball is being wielded by an honorless traitor.
You trusting fool. Wayne will flee if he finds out you're there. With a little trickery, we can manipulate the tournament. Once Wayne's been beaten, the Order of Whispers can steal the sword with ease. Stop thinking with your sword arm and start using your brain.
Both are interesting suggestions. Earworth, your thoughts?
I'm afraid gladiatorial tournaments aren't the Priory's forte. While you get the sword, I'll research Mazdak and try to pinpoint his location.
Herald, Caledball must be returned. Decide and go forth to deal justice.
There he is. That's Wayne, fighting in the pit. You can tell by looking at his sword. It's got to be Caledball.
Treasonous snake! Let's jump down there and break it out of his hand.
We can't make a scene. Half these people are bandits. If they suspect the sword's value, we'll never make it out alive.
You're right, of course. But that doesn't make this any easier. The Vigil punishes evil. It's difficult to stand here and allow it to continue. Then we'll have to enter the tournament as we'd planned. If we defeat him honestly, we can claim the sword as battle price. If he doesn't give it to us, he'll be shamed in front of all these thugs. Then he's the dead one. If you think you can beat him, you join the tournament. I'll stay up here. If these thugs get rowdy, I'll handle them.
Good plan. All we have to do is register to fight.
You there, Sylvari. We don't see many of you around here. Either of you want to fight in the pit?
I will. Who's that guy down there now? I'd like to fight him.
That's Wayne, our current champion. First, you have to survive the preliminary round. Then you can fight Wayne.
You're outmatched, Wayne. But I'm not here for your life. I'm here for Caledball. Give me Rhiannoc's sword and I'll let you go.
The sword is mine. Rhiannoc wasn't worthy of it. He was willing to give his life. For what?
For his people. And for you, Wayne. He stayed to give you a head start from Mazdak. The Lich would have chased you down to get Caledball. That's why Rhiannoc died.
No, you can't know. You weren't there. I'll kill you. Then I'll put Rhiannoc and you smug Sylvari behind me for good.
You were amazing down there. Your combat prowess is really something. I envy you the beating you gave that thug. I wish I'd been able to lend a hand.
I was prepared to let Wayne go, but he wouldn't stop attacking me. I didn't want to kill him.
That's what makes you great Vigil material. You should seriously consider joining my order. Wayne had been carrying that burden for so long, it was probably a relief to die at the hands of someone who knew the truth.
You're right. I could see it in his eyes. He seemed almost grateful.
Come, Herald. I'll take Caledball back to the Pale Tree, and then we'll find a way to make Mazdak pay.
Greetings, my courageous herald. I have heard news of your victory. Caledball is returned at last.
It was difficult, but worth it. Wayne's been punished at last.
Herald, my research at the Priory proved fruitful. I know where Mazdak the Accursed was buried, and I believe I know his next target. He's planning to attack a human town known as the Ascalon Settlement. If we don't stop him, he'll wipe them out.
He's attacking Ascalon Settlement? They're a peaceful area. They have very few defenses. We've got to stop Mazdak.
We have the soldiers. If the Pale Tree would allow Caledball to be born into battle, the Vigil can destroy Mazdak. All it takes is firepower, courage, and a direct assault.
You always think in a straight line. Look, Mazdak's forces will have to move through the Centaur tribes to get to Ascalon's settlement. Why not turn them against each other and take down two birds with one stone? The Order of Whispers could do that easily.
I know where Mazdak was buried. The Priory could explore his tomb, get past the traps, and find a way to destroy the Lich while he slumbers. It's the logical approach.
This Lich must be destroyed. For Rhiannoc. For Tyria. Listen to me. The Orders wish you to join them. If you do, they will lend you strength. With their backing, we can defeat Mazdak. It is your destiny to fight Zhaitan. Joining an Order will help you achieve that goal. Choose wisely.
Herald, I place Caladbolg in your care. Decide how to defeat Mazdak, and know that the hopes of the Grove go with you.
Welcome, novice. Today, you get your first taste of the adventures inherent in being a member of the Dermond Priory. I'm so excited for you. The Tomb of Mazdak. I couldn't have asked for a better trial of your abilities.
I'm looking forward to it. So, what should we expect within the crypt?
A challenge. Our small but clever team will be following your lead. We'll need to find Mazdak's chamber within the tomb. Once there, we will find a way to defeat him. I'm certain of it.
This tomb is ancient. It may even date back to the spread of the first human settlers on Tyria.
Such places are filled with traps and other dangers. We must enter cautiously.
I'm ready for this. I swear by Caladbolg's thorn, we will defeat Mazdak.
You dare disturb the tomb of Mazdak? Mighty conqueror of old?
Hear me, Ghost. Your master, Mazdak, has been corrupted by an ancient evil. We must pass. We wish to end his blight, but this enchanted door bars our path. Will you help us, Protector?
Corrupted? By what foul force? Speak truth, interloper, or I will know.
By the elder dragon Zhaitan. He has stolen your lord's body and turned his spirit to evil.
This is dark news. Mazdak was once lord of these lands, serving the people and the gods. Tyria has now become a servant of evil. I will aid you, travelers. I will show you the path safely through the tomb.
Thank you, Captain. We'll end the dragon's corruption and make this right.
Sylvari? Here? You have long roots for such small weeds. Flee while you still have your lives. When the human race was as young as your own, I conquered these lands and named them Kryta.
Now I recognize these markings. Mazdak brought the first human settlers to Kryta from Or. No wonder he's so powerful. As a mortal, he lived in Or, while the dragons slept, hidden deep beneath the ground.
You may have once been a hero, Mazdak, but now you're nothing but Zhaitan's slave. We don't fear you.
Ah, but you should know this before you die. No weapon forged can harm me. You face your doom.
I carry a weapon that was never forged, Mazdak. Perhaps you recognize this blade.
Caladbolg. I thought it was destroyed long ago. Very well, Sylvari. Let this be a battle to the death and beyond.
Mazdak the Accursed is dead. By the blade of Caladbolg, Rhiannoch is at last avenged.
Novice, you've shown both intelligence and courage. I rate your performance as exceptional. You should head to Lion's Arch and receive your first formal assignment. It's time to send you out into the field.
Thank you. I'll leave soon. Kaith, you're so quiet. Are you injured?
No, I'm thinking. Rhiannoch died before he could fulfill his Wyld Hunt. He failed because he was alone. If we wish to fight Zhaitan, we must not let fear or anger force us apart. If we do not find a way to defeat the dragons, Tyria will be destroyed. Tell me, my friend, do you think it's possible for people to let go of their differences? To unite?
Our dreams inspire us, Kaith. We must never give up hope, or we give up the dream itself.
Then I must also go to Lion's Arch. It is time to call together Destiny's Edge.
By your leave, my friend, I'll return Caladbolg to the Pale Tree. I'll be sure to tell her the tale of Mazdak's defeat.
Will I see you again, Traherne?
Yes, I'm sure of it. Our wild hunts are linked, my friend. We will need one another. May your path be filled with adventure and joy. Until we meet again.
Welcome, fellow members of Destiny's Edge. We must speak of the threat of the Elder Dragons.
When I agreed to come, I didn't know you'd be inviting this char.
I could say the same for you, human. Finally crawling back for forgiveness, Logan.
I've done nothing that needs to be forgiven.
Logan, Ritlock, enough of your squabbling. Kaith, I doubt that we can unite again. Not after our last mistake.
The Norn's right. When heirs to Galkin makes mistakes, people die.
Is that what you think, Soja? That what happened was my fault?
Please, all of you, our time has come. We must help the Orders. We've fought the Elder Dragons before.
And lost, because someone couldn't keep up with us.
You have something to say it to my face.
I would if you weren't always running away. I should gut you and be done with it.
Gut me? With what? That human-made sword you looted from Ascalon? I've had enough. We're done here.
Running away again.
Ritlock, you're just making it worse.
Ha! Look who's talking! Logan's right, for once. I have more important things to do. I'm done with this.
And I refuse to waste my efforts on cowards and fools. Goodbye, Kaith.
It's sad to see Logan and Ritlock argue. If only there was something to bond them together. Yes, I know what might help. Kaith, I have to leave as well. I fear this meeting was a mistake, but maybe I can fix it.
We failed, then. Failed to bring Destiny's Edge back together. We cannot help the others. How can we help Tyria?
The Dermond Priory is a bastion of history, containing the collected wisdom of the ages. For 200 years, we've stood upon a foundation of lore, research, and exploration. When Lion's Arch was flooded by the rise of the nation of Or, our forebearers rescued the city's survivors. We salvaged knowledge that would otherwise have been lost. Now, as the dragons ravage ever greater expanses of Tyria, we must do even more. We must discover the truths that Tyria needs to survive. Where the dragons came from, why, and how to end their threat. The Priory is dedicated to learning. Siren, one of our most cunning scholars, will provide tutelage to help you gain wisdom that you will need. Dermond, our founder, said it best. Your power is only equal to the sum of your knowledge. If that's true, then we're Tyria's best hope to survive the darkness gathering on the horizon. Welcome to the Dermond Priory.
Ah, here you are. You must be the new novice I was sent to retrieve. I'm a Magister of the Order, but we don't need to use titles. Just call me Siren.
Happy to meet you. I'm looking forward to working with the Dermond Priory.
It's nice to see that you're enthusiastic. I know I'm supposed to take you straight back to the Priory, but I'd like to take a little side trip. While I was waiting for you, Explorer Kecht was telling me this really interesting story about an old dwarven tomb. And guess what? It's right on our way. I'll still take you to meet Steward Gix at the main Priory building, but I want to have a bit of fun first.
Magister Siren, you're not listening to me. We don't even know if the story is true. What if this tomb doesn't even exist? What if it's just a legend?
Oh, Kecht, stop being a spoilsport. If I ignore this, those skulky dredge might find the tomb first. And how would that turn out? They'd destroy it. Come on. It won't hurt anything to go look around a bit. The novice doesn't mind, right?
Exploring an ancient tomb on my first day in the Order. Sounds fun. I don't mind at all.
Then it's settled. I'll meet you at Moland Summit, novice. Don't keep me waiting, okay? Look at these glorious snow-dusted mountains. I love the Shiver Peaks. They're so magnificent. Can you believe the ancient dwarves thought this was a good place for a tomb? It feels so alive. Such a strange choice.
It's beautiful, but I'll admit I don't know much about dwarves. What's so interesting about this tomb?
The dwarves are almost extinct, but in their time they knew a lot about the dragons. The Priory studies dwarven tombs to learn as much as we can. This tomb's completely unexplored. If there hadn't been a little earthquake, it would have stayed buried beneath rocks and ice. Kekt's old scrolls said this was the tomb of a dwarven prince. It might have... Uh-oh. Look at those dig marks. Dredge. Shoots and thorns. I knew the dredge would find this place. That's why I wanted to come right away. See, the dredge were once enslaved by dwarves. They'll destroy anything dwarven. Once this cave opened up, they probably flocked here like jackdaws to a bone.
Then we'd better hurry. Hey, do you hear that? Siren, watch out!
That talking tree's gone crazy. Get it off me. I'll tell you anything. Just let me go.
This talking tree'll tear your limbs off, buddy. Is this all you found in the tomb, or did your people destroy some of the relics?
Those relics are nothing compared to... We tried to shatter it, but we couldn't. It was too powerful. Nothing could harm it.
Destroy what? Another relic? One like these?
Junk! No. It was a sword. We sent it to the southern ruins, hoping to find some way to destroy it. Death to the dwarves!
A sword? Maybe the writing on these relics will tell us more. I bet Gix can translate it. Let's head back to the Priory and ask him.
Magister Siren, yet again you neglect your duty to go on an adventure. You're completely out of control, you blasted weed. You're very lucky my expedition team needed your help to get out of there. I'm going to go easy on you. This time. But if I ever find out that you ever risk another novice's life on one of your little curiosities, I'll prune your ears. Mark my words. Ah, our newcomer. I'm sorry for all the trouble. Siren is something of a firecracker.
The novice did very well, Steward. Don't fuss. Look, we even recovered these unusual artifacts. Won't you translate the writing for us, Gix?
Don't wheedle me, you leaf-addled reprobate. Why I tolerate him... Oh, my goodness. This is fascinating. Tell me, was anything missing from the cave?
Yes, the dredge had taken a weapon from the cave. That's a wonderful guess. Guess something else, Gix. This is fun.
By the cogs of creation, they took the sanguinary blade. It's a legendary sword made of frozen blood. The weapon was lost when the stone summit dwarves vanished.
A sword made of blood? What kind of blood could possibly be made into a weapon?
The worst kind. Dragon blood. Magister, novice, you must find that blade and bring it safely to the Priory.
We're on it, sir. You can count on us.
Look at this place. It must be tremendously old. Centuries even.
Older than that. The dwarven civilization lasted for more than 2,000 years, and this might be one of their first structures. It's so sad that the dwarves all turned to stone and went to fight the dragons. Sad, but brave.
The dredge brought the sword here to find a way to destroy it. We'd better hurry before they succeed.
You're absolutely right. First, we have to cross that windy bridge. I can use my magic to fly, but you'll have to foot it. Those flags and the torches flutter when the wind rises, so watch them carefully. Use the walls for cover. Keep your footing, go as fast as you can, and don't worry, it'll be cherry. Stig Frostbeard. I've heard of him. He's a son of Svanir. They're dragon cultists, and Stig is a mean one. If he's got the sword, it'll be nothing but trouble.
Did you see what happened when the blade cut his friend? It turned that Norn into a monster.
I saw. That looked like dragon corruption to me. I guess the sanguinary blade really is made of dragon's blood. Gix was right. That's bad news for us, too. That sword will corrupt anyone that holds onto it for too long. Before we retrieve it for the Derman Priory, we'd better find a way to protect ourselves from the corruption.
What about the sword's original scabbard? The dwarves must have made it strong enough to contain the blade.
True. But how do we find that scabbard? It might be easier to create something of our own, using Priory knowledge. Give it a rumble in your brain, and let me know when you've made a choice. Isn't it amazing? Hundreds of years ago, this was a proud stone summit fortress. They were a group of xenophobic dwarves, cruel, brutal, and unyielding. They're the ones that enslaved the dredge. Well, mostly. Now look at it. Everything it stood for, both good and bad, has been washed away by time. I'm continually amazed at Tyria's resilience. The stone summit kept their most valued artifacts here. The Priory retrieved quite a bit, until those nasty pirates moved into the area.
You think the scabbard's still down there?
I'm sure of it, Novice. The question is, how do we convince the pirates to let us poke around? Buy them some beer? Oh! Convince them we're just shrubs!
I like the idea of convincing them, but I think we should use our convincing weapons. Come on.
Now that's what I call combat archaeology. Well done, Novice.
We retrieved the scabbard. Now how do we find the sanguinary blade?
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot to tell you about that part. Oops. The Arcanists back at the Priory used a scrying spell to track Stieg. They told me that he's hiding near Black Baal's mill. We're also on double secret probation. Turns out Gix was mad about us not reporting after we went to the tomb.
Wait, we were supposed to report in? Siren?
If we don't find Stieg Frostbeard soon, the sword will corrupt everyone around him. It'll turn them all into monsters.
We've got to hurry to Black Baal's mill. I'll meet you there. And Siren, don't forget to bring the scabbard.
Hello there, Norn. We're here from the Dermond Priory, and your friend Stieg has something that belongs to us.
We're just here for Frostbeard. Bring us the sword he carries, and we won't hurt you.
Pathetic little bookworms. Stieg Frostbeard is mighty. He will attack Lion's Arch, and we will show you all Dragon's power. Stieg's blood sword is a holy relic of the dragon, Jormag. The dragon blesses Stieg for his faithful service. He will lead us to victory.
It's not too late. Please, think about what you're doing. The dragon may give you power, but in exchange, he's made you slaves.
Abandon dragon in his time of triumph? Why would we do that?
Lion's Arch is filled with innocent people. You can't do this.
They aren't listening, Novice. Time to switch to Plan B. Go get them! Hi there, Hylek. I'm Siren from the Dermond Priory. We heard you talking to that guard. Maybe we can help.
I don't know, but I do need help. My brother was our champion. He offered himself as a sacrifice to save our village. They say it is an honor, but the champions never return, and we just keep sending more. I want to rescue my brother before it's too late.
Maybe we can help each other. If you get us in to speak with your leaders, we'll come with you to save your brother.
I can do that. I'd do anything to have my brother back. Come this way. There's my brother. No! What have they done to him? This thing is not my brother. My brother was a hero, a champion. The undead turned him into this. And it was the priests who sent him here. Unforgivable.
I'm sorry about your brother. But yes, each village champion becomes another undead soldier in the dragon's army. We want to stop this too.
Then we'll need to prove it. Take the head from this undead thing. When the priests and chiefs see it, they'll have to believe us.
Astonishing and gruesome, but effective. You Hylek know how to make a point. Look away, Ichniu, and we'll do it.
We must speak to the High Priestess. We have proof that the champions are being killed and turned into undead.
I've seen your proof, but the High Priestess is not here. She's gone to prepare for the procession. She doesn't know Sabiti, and she's tired of hearing this from you. She'll say that head could be anybody's and dismiss you as a troublemaker.
We took it straight from the undead thing Sabiti had become. How else can we prove your sacrifices are actually making things worse? On second thought, never mind. Leave it to us. The Priory won't rest until we help Ichniu convince your leaders.
You're just in time. The High Priestess's entourage is about to leave. They're bringing supplies to her cloister. So they lead us right to her. The hard part will be making sure they get there. The way's dangerous, full of pirates, predators, and the undead. We need to scout ahead and clear the way for the entourage. But if we get too close, they'll spot us and stop the procession.
So we have to keep them alive without making them nervous. A tall order, but nothing the Priory can't handle. Let's go.
I don't know how you got in here, but you cannot stay. This is a holy place. Leave before I have you riddled with poison darts.
Not until we've had our say. Those you sacrifice to the Sunless Ones become sunless themselves.
You've seen our proof. Your guards will tell you that this undead thing was once Champion Saviti's head. You cannot deny it any longer. Tell the chief to stop the tournament. We must not send any more champions to join the ranks of the Sunless.
But may the sun forgive me. It's too late. The tournament began when my entourage left the village. It's already over by now.
Then we need to move quickly. The undead are massing for attack, and they won't wait forever. Gather your forces and meet us back at the village.
Hello again, Chief. It looks like you've been busy. How long until your defenses are ready?
Not long. I will not let this village die because I could not see such an obvious threat.
Don't be too hard on yourself. The dragon's minions can be very sneaky. Lots of folks don't notice them creeping in until it's too late.
I'm grateful that you opened my eyes. Now I must see to the main gate. I sent my best scout to observe the enemy, and he should be back soon. It would help the villagers to see you standing with us. Would you check the rest of our defenses and make sure they're done? Gone. Our homes, our hunting grounds, our breeding grounds, all gone. But it would have been worse without the Priory.
We're sorry you lost your home, but this is just a sliver of the dragon's power. Unless we all work together, this will happen to all of Tyria.
Then send for me when you need allies against the dragons, and I will come. For my brother and my village, I owe you that much.
Good, because that fight is coming, soon, and we will need all the help we can muster. We have more work to do, but I wish you luck in settling new grounds. May the holy sun shine on you and protect you until we meet again.
Good day, explorer. Siren and I have been discussing your recent ordeal. It is tragic, simply tragic, that such destruction was inflicted. I cannot overstate it. The dragons must be stopped. The one bright spot in this whole situation is that your actions have saved many lives and gained allies for the Priory. As steward, I'm pleased to promote you to the Priory's highest active rank, Magister.
Thank you, Steward Gix. It's a great honor.
Congratulations, fellow Magister!
Celebrate all you like, but I need you to run a small errand as well. An associate of mine recently developed a new equation that might pinpoint weaknesses in higher magical entities, like the dragons. Maeva has offered the Priory a copy of her research. I want you to go to Lion's Arch and pick it up.
Sounds like fun. I'll meet you at her house. It's on the beach, near the Western Ward. This is the right house, but Gix didn't say anything about weird lights and thumping noises. Do you think that's normal?
I seriously doubt it. The house's defense mechanisms have been activated.
Oh no. Maybe someone tried to break in and steal Maeva's research. We'd better head in and find Maeva. She may need our help.
Salutations. I see you're from the Priory. Thanks for the help. I'm glad I didn't have to wait for the defenses to deactivate.
And how long would that have taken exactly?
Oh, 3,500 years, give or take a decade. At that point, I would have emerged from stasis, confident that the radiation was gone. What's this? Aha! The creature that invaded my house was some kind of Orion scout. I told Gix that my equations predicted an assault on Lion's Arch. This intrusion implies we've reached time critical for that attack.
If that's true, then the whole city's in danger. Maeva, go to the Priory. Show Gix your research. My friend and I will head for Claw Island immediately. We have to warn the Lion Guard.
What's on Claw Island?
The Claw Island fortress stands in the harbor of Lion's Arch. It's the last defense against invasion from the sea. If Zhaitan's going to attack the city, its minions will have to fight their way past the fort.
Trahearne? It's been a long time. You study ore. Have there been any signs of an attack on its way?
Valiant! Yes, Claw Island is in great danger. Thank the Mother Tree that you're here as well.
Thank you for meeting with us, Watch Commander Talon. We have grave news. One of Zhaitan's minions breached the city. We destroyed it, but the creature was likely scouting for a much bigger force. An attack is imminent.
A what? That's extremely unlikely. We've seen no sign of an impending attack. If there was to be one, we'd know of it.
By the bow, Siren? May the tree watch over you, young one. How's the Priory treating you?
Firstborn, it is an honor to see you again. I'm so glad you're here. Something terrible is about to happen. Trahearne, this is my dear friend. One of the kindest and most dedicated magisters in the Priory. Magister, this is Trahearne, Tyria's foremost scholar on Zhaitan and ore. He's a hero to me.
Commander Talon, I can confirm their information. Zhaitan's servants are indeed approaching. A fleet of dead ships has launched from the Straits of Devastation. The Risen sail beneath a cloak of stealth.
Whatever you've seen, it can't be a real threat. Claw Island can withstand any assault. Speak with my commanders, Brack and Mira. Once you review our defenses, you'll realize there's nothing to fear.
Hostiles incoming!
It's the wall! They're being over...
We did it! It's sinking! A small victory. By the gods, there's so many of them! Medic! We need a medic over here! Commander Talon, hold on. You'll be all right.
Quiet, Mira. Soldiers don't need lies. Retreat to the city. Tell the Commodore. We did all we could.
By your will, Commander. I swear to you, this isn't over.
Mira, the island is overwhelmed. We have to evacuate Lion-Guard and ignite the watchtowers to warn the city.
No. You'll never make it to the beacon with these risen monstrosities chasing you. We'll have to fight our way back. The Lion Guard will make a stand in the courtyard while you go for the tower. God's willing, the Risen will be too busy fighting us to stop you.
Your bravery is commendable, Deputy Mira, but your soldiers cannot survive a protracted battle against this many undead.
It's the duty of every Lion Guard to lay down our lives to protect our city. If that's what it takes, that's exactly what we'll do. We'll rally in the courtyard. You light the warning beacons. Now go!
The Dragon's servants will never let our ships sail. If they surround the docks, they'll slaughter us, and Zhaitan's forces will grow.
Our soldiers are too injured to fight. They can barely walk. We can't form a defense and still get them all aboard.
Someone needs to hold them off and give everyone else time to escape. No, not someone. Me.
You can't win against those monsters, Siren. There are too many of them.
If I can keep them busy, it's enough of a win for me. Gix always said I was an exceptional troublemaker. When you and I met, I didn't think about anything but myself. I wanted fun, excitement, risks. I didn't really care about others. In my short life, you've taught me the most important lesson. Friends will go through anything for each other. That's why I have to do this. I've always wondered what it would be like to go to the Mists. It'll be a new adventure. There's so much left I wanted to see. I can't let you hurt them. I won't.
Magister, is it true? Siren, she's really dead.
It's true, Gix. I'm sorry. But at least she went out bravely. Because of her sacrifice, the survivors reached Lion's Arch.
I'd always hoped Siren would learn responsibility. But not like this. She was a turnip-brained, leaf-loving hero. And she will be missed.
Siren's courage provided opportunity. But your bravery led us to safety, my friend. I owe you a great debt, Magister.
You may not be a member of the Priory, Traherne, but you know more about the Oriens than anyone in Tyria. What do you recommend?
These undead are commanded by a powerful wraith. He'll remain hidden while his minions carry out the slaughter.
So, we must discover the unseen, I believe the Priory has an artifact that will aid us. An idol of Balthazar, the human god of war, murder, etc., etc. It can transform one individual. The more you kill, the more powerful you become, until your enemy can no longer hide from you. But it is risky.
I'll do it. Siren was never afraid to take risks. She gave us a chance to protect the city, and I plan to do exactly that.
Well done, Magister. You channeled the idol's power without turning into a ravaging, blood-crazed psychopath. Ah, I may not have mentioned that particular side effect. Well, never mind. Good job!
The idol is incredibly strong. Can we use it against the Vanguard at Claw Island?
Sadly, no. The human god of mass murder is not a deity that likes to use the same tactic twice. The idol's no longer enchanted.
Not long ago, an associate of mine, Tegwin, was trapped in ore. Since her return, she's been training Sylvari to fight the Oriens. We could use their help.
It's also possible that my researchers have finished their most recent project. They were modifying a sonic weapon we captured from the dredge.
Those both sound like good ideas. Manpower or firepower. Give me a moment to think before I decide.
Whatever you decide, I'm going with you. You need the help, and I owe it to Siren.
Hail, Traherne! Those two stir-crazy researchers mentioned you might show up. What have you found?
The dredge have the sonic harmonizer under heavy guard. We'll have to fight our way in.
I can handle a few dredge. Let's go.
Be wary, there are 2 commanders in there wearing mining suits. Such firepower should not be taken lightly.
Fair wonder, Duggar. Part in your pocket. Got it?
What? I can't understand you.
Gotta remember, Baron, we've been out here a long while. This'n don't know the short speak.
Ah, right. Pharaoh and me, we talk quick. Been out in the wild so long, it's like we can read each other's minds. How's about what you got there? Is it the part we need?
You mean the sonic harmonizer? Sure. Here it is. Do we know this weapon will work?
Oi, we'll find out soon. Molars are on their way. Get you into the turret, Duggar, and bring on the molar side.
You shoot the shot, we'll tweak the spindles and ratchet the cogs. What you think? Fun?
I'll get the turret and fire on the dredge while you adjust the settings? I can do that.
Hey, I'm starting to understand you guys.
Anguish, mayhem, Molarcide! Never seen Molars retreat so fast. You're fair turret-handed, Duggar.
Thanks, Baron. That was a real challenge. Do you think the weapon's ready to face Zhaitan's minions?
Bet your bum. Gix will be pleased that it works, given the short notice.
Old Gix relies on us, 'cause we're the fastest. Now get to Lion's Arch and we'll meet you there.
Magister, I have a request. We should visit the Pale Tree. The Mother has knowledge we shall need in the days ahead.
Of course, Trahearne. I think that would be wise.
Mother Tree, I am sure by now you have heard of the destruction at Claw Island. Zhaitan is attacking in force.
The soul of Tyria mourned as her children were cut down by the beast. The land wept, and the world shuddered.
My friend and I seek to right that wrong. We wish to fight Zhaitan and take back what was lost. We've come to ask your counsel.
The answer is at the heart of Tyria's future, and your own. Both of you must face the darkness, become guiding stars in the night.
Is it even possible to defeat Zhaitan?
Only with great courage. Come, I will show you a vision of your future, and the challenges to come.
War is a dark and foul place. Even though I have been here, in truth, this vision is unsettling. Let us hurry. The Pale Tree has lessons yet to be revealed. They say that Or was once beautiful. A nation to rival Kryta, Ascalon, and Ilona. The human gods lived in the city of Arar, and the people here were blessed. After the gods left, the humans banded into guilds and warred upon each other. The guild wars caused great devastation, and the nations faltered. Where does this road lead, Mother?
To the ancient city of Arar, the dragon's stronghold. That is your goal. Along the way, you will glimpse things that may yet come to pass.
These creatures are formidable. Tougher than the ones at Claw Island. How will we defeat them?
Alone, you cannot. But with unity, you will find that many impossible things can be achieved.
Defenders of Tyria, when Zhaitan rose from slumber, the dragon found a long-dead nation and claimed it. The dragon expected the rest of Tyria to be as easily conquered. But we live, and we breathe, and we fight. All races, all orders, and all paths of life stand against Zhaitan. The dragon is a fearsome enemy. It wants nothing more than to paralyze us with doubt. But I tell you this, we are not afraid. We will never kneel. Do you feel that? The dragon hears us. To Arar and victory! Is this a vision of the future? Mother, I do not understand. I'm no general.
You must be what Tyria needs you to be, my son. You have more courage than you realize. The past taints the future. Our heroes have fallen. They must be redeemed. You are the catalyst. You must bring them together. Heal their wounds.
Where were you? We needed you. Snaff. I couldn't protect him. I could still hear him screaming.
Someone was going to die no matter what I did. Snaff or my queen. I had to make a choice. You would have done the same. Any of you! If the person you loved was in danger, you would have done the same.
Destiny's Edge disbanded after their loss against the Elder Dragon, Kralkatorrik. To this day, they have unresolved grievances with one another.
I tried to keep him out of danger. I would have given anything to prevent his death.
It wasn't enough. You weren't enough. You should have died, Heir, instead of him.
Logan was called away by his queen. Yet Heir chose to fight the Elder Dragon. They lost. Glint died, along with Snaff, Soja's mentor and friend.
I've tried so very hard. They can't stop arguing. They can't understand that the dragons are more important. They'd throw everything away. I'm alone. And I'm tired.
Come back to me. If the world must end, Let us spend our last days in each other's arms.
These visions represent a possible future for Destiny's Edge, should they not resolve their quarrels. We need them to reconcile, if we're to defeat Zhaitan. Where was I? Oh yes, the Guild Wars. Still angry over the loss of Ascalon, the Char struck hard while humanity fought with itself. The Char ravaged Ascalon with searing cauldrons and marched on Or. As hope failed, an Orion named Vizier Kilbron read the lost scrolls and unleashed an ancient curse. The curse annihilated the Char army, but it destroyed Or as well. A cataclysm plunged the nation into the ocean. Everything was lost.
This is the tomb of the kings of Or. Walk inside and seek truth, but be warned, the future can change in the blink of an eye.
To see the sky, feel once more the wind and the sun. Although my nation is drowned, a slow blood still pulses in its veins. Or was once the heart of Tyria, so full of life. I was the last of a line of proud rulers. Now my nation is enslaved. What do you seek here? Or has nothing left to give, save ash and bones.
We came to fight Zhaitan. Can you give us counsel?
Zhaitan can be defeated, but that will not save Or. The land must be cleansed of this poison. Seek the source.
Is Zhaitan the source? Or is there some other poison that fouls all? Please, tell us.
Seek the source. Cleanse Or. Seek the source.
Your last challenge on the road to Ara will be the Guardian of the Gate. Beyond this, I cannot foretell. Once before, I gave this sword to a beloved son. Now, I pass it on to you, Trahearne. Its name is Caladbolg. Bear it with honor, and the sword will never fail you. Test yourselves against the Guardian, then return to me in the Grove. To know the future, even the mere possibility can be a great burden. I am sorry, brave heroes, that you must walk this path.
Must these things come to pass, Mother? Must I take up Caladbolg and travel into the heart of Or?
You must both take up this mantle. Trahearne, your duty is to cleanse Or. Your friend shall aid you, and then face the dragon.
And Claw Island? Can we retake it and save Lion's Arch?
I believe so. But that will not be your first test. The dragon seeks to destroy its enemies before they can strike. I see within the dream that Zhaitan's forces enter battle, not against Lion's Arch, but at the heart of your order.
My order headquarters? No. How could that be? How could Zhaitan even know?
Those who have been corrupted reveal everything to Zhaitan. Nothing is secret, least of all those places where his enemies hide.
If my friends are in danger, I have to go to them. They have no warning, they'll be slaughtered.
I will go with you. Our fates are bound together, and from this day forward, we fight as one.
Farewell, valiant souls. May your wild hunt be successful, and may your courage illuminate the dark of night.
Look there, the pale tree was right. The Derman Priory is overwhelmed. We'll have to fight our way in.
The scholars need our help. We need to gather everyone we find, build a fighting force as we head in.
Good idea. Be cautious, Magister. These Orions are fueled by the dragon's hatred, and it is strong right now.
Don't worry, my friend. I'll watch your back, you watch mine. That mega laser bolt was gigantic. Steward Gix, are you all right?
I'm fine. Poor, brave scholars. Our explorers fought well, but we were no match for the Risen.
More undead are coming. What can we do to defend against them?
Go downstairs, to the vaults. Defend the research teams. They can help us raise an appropriate defense. Break out the emergency weapons supply.
Tell them to gather every obscure invention and ready every inscrutable device. We are not giving up. Once you clear the undead out of the vaults, get back up here. My magic can only hold back the Risen for a short while.
You'll hurry. Do everything you can, Steward Gix. Just give us time.
If we hadn't arrived in time, the Priory would have been lost. Thank the Pale Tree.
The Mother Tree is very wise. I'm glad we saw her. If the Priory had fallen, we'd never be able to defend Lion's Arch. Do you remember what she said? With unity, many impossible things can be achieved. She was right. The Priory can't fight Zhaitan like this. We may have the knowledge, but we lack both an army and the resources.
We can't have that kind of peace-loving, low-down poltroon talk. Did the Risen strike you on the head? We cannot give up the struggle.
Steward, the other orders of Tyria share our concerns about the dragons. The Priory should contact them and divulge information on all.
Terrible idea. The Order of Whispers are underhanded backstabbers, and those brainless warmongers in the Vigil are even worse.
You're wrong, Winnet. They simply have their own ways of fighting Zhaitan. Both would be staunch allies in this war.
Perhaps you're right. The fact that Zhaitan could strike at the Priory's heart shakes me to the core. I trust you, Magister. And I trust Traherne. Go to the other orders. Set up a meeting. Tell them that the Dermond Priory respectfully wishes to negotiate terms of accord.
Thank you, Steward. I'll do everything I can.
Enough bickering, all of you. Our real enemy lurks across the waves. Zhaitan's servants march at the gates of Lion's Arch. We must band together, or we will all be destroyed.
When I joined my order, I swore to fight Zhaitan. I will die for Tyria if I must. However, I believe that together we can win. The Vigil has shown tremendous courage in the fight against the dragons. This alliance will require courage as well. Why back down now? The Order of Whispers has seen nations rise and fall. You cannot hide from this threat. You need to make a stand. And who knows more about the dragons than the Priory? Just think of how much there is to learn. Where else but in awe?
By the worlds of eternal alchemy, you're bold. But you're correct. Knowledge is useless if it is not used. We shall aid you.
The Order of Whispers has worked for generations to bring nations together. We can do no less now. Our blades are yours.
The Vigil fears nothing, not even ill-tempered, undisciplined louts like these two. We'll join, but I insist there's a decent hierarchy. Who will lead this compact?
Logic dictates that it cannot be a member of any of our orders, lest one be seen as above the other two. Quite a conundrum.
I've already considered that. Traherne, you've never joined an order, yet they all respect you. You studied ore all your life. Will you lead us?
I never wanted to be a soldier. I'm only a seeker of truth. But, yes, I will lead this pack to the gates of Ara, and together, we will see Zhaitan destroyed. First, to Claw Island. Let us send our defiant message straight into the heart of Ore. Tyria stands as one.
Marshal Traherne, sir. I'm Efoot, liaison for the Vigil troops. The Lion Guard are clearing some road, but the inner courtyard gate is blocked.
My Priory explorers brought a biomantic siege capacitor, Marshal. Our top mystics have been working on it for some time. It could be useful.
I've heard of that device. Whisper's agent stole a copy of the blueprints, but we couldn't figure out your bizarre telemetry. There's a working prototype?
Of course. Nothing's beyond the Priory's intelligence. Unfortunately, it's a portable model, so it lacks the power to blast through a fortified gate.
What if we amplified this capacitor in some way?
Clever. The signal towers use magical panels to increase brightness. If we reversed the panel's direction and adjusted the enchantment, we could amplify the beam.
It's improvised, off the cuff, and madcap. But you know, it just might work. Still, there are far too many undead between here and the signal tower.
Leave that part to me. The Vigil may not understand your boo-boo matic wheeze calculator, but we know plenty about killing undead.
Then we have a plan. Commander Efoot, move out. Your crusaders can guide the way.
One reconstellated configurer coming up.
Well done. We've secured the docks.
What about the courtyard, Marshal? That big dragon thing will be on us the minute we charge in there.
We need to retake the ramparts and deploy siege weapons. Then we can cover the sky while we clear the courtyard.
I can help there. Priory alchemists have crafted special ammunition to weaken champions like that one. We can force that monster to the ground.
Once you get it down, we'll get it dead. Put your trust in Vigil Steel.
Yourselves, troops. Wait for the dragon to come around, then make a coordinated strike. Fire!
Falling from its wings. Don't let them surround you.
We did it. We recaptured Claw Island, and in so doing, saved Lion's Arch as well. I do not know what lies ahead of us, my friend, but for the first time, I have hope. Hope that this alliance can save Tyria from the dragons. Hope for the future. Hope for all.
This is a momentous day. The tide of history has changed, Traherne.
Indeed. Many people doubted. Even the Orders weren't truly certain it could be done. Never before has Tyria been so united. Let all hear the echo of this battle. We can defeat the dragons. We will.
Zhaitan waits at the center of all, surrounded by a nation of undead. The battle to destroy the dragon will not be easy, but it can be won.
There is a ruined fortress at the edge of Or, south of the Shattercleft Hills. From that high cliff, you can see the spires of Or rising beyond the Straits of Devastation. We will take this fort and make it our own. The Pact will rebuild it. We will place our banners, and from there we will strike at the dragon's heart. I will make plans with the leaders of the Orders and gather troops at that location. You deserve some well-earned rest, my friend. Join me when you are ready, and together we will find a way to slay Zhaitan. Thank you all for coming. We're here because Claw Island proved the value of cooperation. Our pact has already achieved remarkable results. As the Pact's leader, I am adopting the rank of Marshal. I'd also like to present my second-in-command, one of the heroes of Claw Island, who will bear the rank of Commander. To defeat Zhaitan and cleanse Or, the Pact needs to go on the offensive. For that, we need a headquarters. I suggest the abandoned fortress on Terzetto Bay.
I know the place. Formidable, easily defensible, and right on Zhaitan's doorstep. A solid decision, Marshal Traherne. The Vigil is with you.
It is a wise choice. The Priory will also follow you to the Pact's new headquarters and on into Or.
No argument here, Marshal. It's a smart call. Count the Order of Whispers in as well.
Excellent. I'll begin preparing our new headquarters at the Terzetto site, which I have codenamed Fort Trinity. I look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you for coming. I'm Marshal Traherne, and I've invited each of you here because you are the finest smiths and crafters in all of Tyria. I'm forging a pact to deal with the Elder Dragons. The 3 major orders of Tyria have agreed to join, but we also need you and your skills.
It would be an honor to stand with you, Firstborn.
Your envoy already approached me with a similar offer, Marshal. I've decided to accept. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Ha! There's only one finest smith in Tyria, and you're looking at him. I stand ready to prove it.
Excellent. I have a list of potential projects. My quartermasters will make sure you have the tools and raw materials you need. Please begin at once.
Somebody, help me! The team studying Rancor ruins was overwhelmed by the undead.
I'm glad to see you. Something is definitely unnatural here. That miasma settled in shortly after we arrived. Fortunately, our allies sent help. Agent Zhaitan from the Order of Whispers and Crusader Afanan from the Vigil.
At your service, killing Orions is my purpose in life, but in the spirit of our newly forged union, this feels extra noble.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander. Take a good look. Once I get started, you won't see me coming or going.
Noted. Our objective is to locate a missing Priory team. Trahearne, this is your mission. How do you want us to handle it?
By playing to our respective strengths. Zhaitan goes in to conduct stealth reconnaissance, while the rest of us take the main path through the ruins. We'll draw the attention of any Orions, and thin out their numbers as we proceed. Let's all rendezvous at the far end of the site.
Are we glad to see you? Never seen a flood of Orions like that, and I've been doing this for years.
You're safe now. Stick close to us and we'll get you out of here intact.
What about our second team? They went ahead to secure a recent discovery right before the undead tide came in. They might still be alive.
I can confirm that. There are tracks leading into the caves. It's a defensible position, so the second team could be dug in there.
Then we're not leaving until we're sure, one way or the other. Spread out and protect the researchers. We're going on.
Another dead end. Militarily, I'd say we're being funneled into a trap.
I've seen the Orions swarm and I've seen them lurk, but I've never seen them set traps. Are they capable of tactical thinking?
Oh yes. I've seen them do exquisitely horrible things. If the Priory team found the artifact I suspect they found, it all makes sense.
They were looking for a dwarven tome. Why would Zhaitan care so much about an ancient book of lore?
I believe it contains information about the last time the dragons rose. Its very existence proves they can be beaten back. Our enemy wants to keep that information from us.
How does the dragon even know about it? Zhaitan doesn't strike me as much of a reader.
Zhaitan knows everything its minions know. One of its corrupted servants, while alive or after death, must have seen the tome. Commander, to me. I believe I can get us out of this situation, but I'll need you to protect me while I do it.
Welcome, Sylvari. Lured you here, trapped you here, now you die here. The elements bow before me, and I bow before Zhaitan. He wills your death. You shall have it.
I was born to undo your master's work. If I must kill you to achieve that, so be it. Die by my hand.
Well done, Marshal Trahearne. That Orion ugly looked nigh unstoppable, but you did it.
The Pact did it. Our combined efforts made this happen, just as we'll defeat Zhaitan together. Hopefully, our chances of doing just that have been improved with the information contained inside the Dwarven Tome.
We can help you there. I'm fluent in Ancient Dwarf. Get us out of here and I'll work on that tome until it's completely translated.
Done. Zhaitan, please escort the research teams back to Concordia. Commander, you're with me.
War Master Cason? Trahearne said you're having communication problems. I'm here to help.
Glad to hear it. This duty is too dangerous for cross signals. I have the best trained artillery crews in the entire Pact, but they keep making rookie mistakes. I don't get it. There's a mortar team heading out right now. Their target is a horde of undead massing in the southwest. Join the team, escort them to the kill zone, and help them set up. I'd like to see a mission go smoothly for a change.
The mortars are in position, and the target is in range. Standing by for orders, Commander.
Everything looks solid. Mortar teams, fire at will.
Smoter's Eye, you just called down fire on our own troops!
But I saw undead. We all saw undead. Black Powder, back me up here.
Sorry, Commander. I saw some undead, but I was focused on the mortar teams during the bombardment. Kazan put you in charge, so I assumed you knew what you were doing.
Just get me back to base. I need a medic. And half my force is still in the volcano. They're waiting for me to extract them. You want to make this right? Go get them out. Unless you plan to blow up them too.
Who are you? Where's Siska? I hope you have our marching orders. We've been stuck here forever, and we've got fellow soldiers to rescue.
I'm Trahearne's second in command. Siska was injured. I came to get you out. You said there are others.
Siska said there's another squad deep in. She ordered us to stand by until she came back with a stronger force. That was a while ago.
Yeah, and we're hungry. We were about to start snacking on Beck's big brain here.
One spoonful from my capacious cranium would elevate your intelligence to the point of seeing what a no-hoper you are. In your anguish, you'd end it all.
That's enough idle talk. Right now, we need to find the missing squad. Lead on, Commander. We're with you. Okay, I'm convinced. Somebody doesn't want us to survive this mission.
And Siska's the one who put us here. So where do we go from here?
Back to base, obviously. Confront Siska if you like, but it's straight to War Master Kazan for me.
Marshal Trahearne needs to know about this. Hester, I need you to deliver a message to him. Tell him I need to meet with him in person.
Done. He's due to inspect the fortifications at Oxbow Isle. I'll set the meeting for there. And thanks again for the save, Commander. I'm not sure how we got into this mess, but I know you pulled us out.
If you find out who's responsible for us being here, Siska or whoever, let us know. Or just kill them horribly and tell us about it.
I got your message, Commander. You have my attention. What's so dire that it demands a face-to-face meeting?
Thanks for trusting me. I believe that a Pact officer named Siska has been compromised by the enemy.
I know Siska. She filed an angry report about how you gave the order for mortar teams to fire on her soldiers.
I believe that's part of the setup. Someone tricked me into giving the order to fire, then Siska sent me on a mission that turned out to be a trap. Her own troops will tell you she's acting strangely. All I ask is that you look into it.
I'll investigate. Your instincts have proven reliable so far. Come, walk with me while I gather my thoughts. Only a fool would not see that the deeper we dig into the Siska question, the more danger we face. You've been the primary focus of these attacks so far, but it's clear that I am the real target.
That fits. If you can't trust me or I'm dead, you lose your second in command. It makes you and the Pact more vulnerable.
And if the Mesmer is out to disrupt the Pact's chain of command, Zhaitan's forces must be planning a major assault. Fort Trinity is the most likely target. Conquering it now would be a huge setback to the Pact. We can't risk that. I'm calling in our forces. Meet me in Fort Trinity, and we'll prepare for Zhaitan's minions.
I'm impressed. This place was already formidable, but you're making it even stronger.
I hope so. We've seen a huge increase in undead activity while we've been establishing our defenses. I believe a major attack is imminent. All the signs are there. Our outermost defenses have suffered a series of probing attacks, and we've lost several long-range scouts. We recovered a powerful magical orb from the depths and explosives from our top demolitionist. But there have been some disturbing glitches in communication. Fort Trinity is not yet secure. Worst of all, our Asura gates aren't functioning, and nobody can tell me why. Magical or mechanical failure? Saboteurs? It's all very disturbing. I want you to double-check our defenses, starting with the lumber camp. They've lost a lot of workers, and we need that timber.
They had the orb. They looked like pack soldiers, but then they changed. By the time I realized they were using illusions, it was too late. If they get the gates working, we'll lose them and the orb. We need explosives to get through.
For more than 100 years, ore has been lost. Despoiled, corrupted, ruined by the presence of a dragon, an infection, withering the heart of Tyria. Fort Trinity symbolizes our determination. It stands as a mark of our unity against the dragons. From here, we will prevail. We will fight to rend the darkness with steel and flame, always looking toward the dawn. Our victory at Fort Trinity will show the world that we can strike against the dragons. When we are ready, we will prove that even in the Sanctum of Ore, they are not untouchable. We can reach the dragon's lair in the heart of Ore. We can assault Ara. We can destroy Zhaitan before the dragon's infection claims us all. This battle is over. We can triumph. But the war has just begun. I'm glad we've got the dragon's attention. I want Zhaitan to know the names and faces of those who will defeat it. Fort Trinity is secure for now. So if you have no objections, I'd like us to turn our attention to Siska. I know where she is. She's at the pack camp near Signal Peak. I'd like you with me when I confront her.
I wouldn't miss a chance like that, sir. She's trying to destroy us both, and I will see her answer for it.
Agreed. I'll wrap things up here, and then meet you near the Signal Peak camp. Welcome, Commander. Siska, or her impersonator, is here. Maybe now we'll get to the bottom of this. I've kept her former squad mates away so they don't tip her off. You and I will confront this imposter personally.
Sure you want to be directly involved? Whoever Siska is, she targeted you. She targeted me too, but only to get a clear shot at you.
I'm sure. The fact that she was after me makes this my problem. The Pact needs to see me handle it, and I need you by my side when I do.
I'm sorry, Marshal Traherne, but the commander has to go. I won't have anything to do with the failure who shelled my soldiers.
The commander is here at my request, Tactician. Recent events have raised serious concerns about you.
I've done the best I could in very difficult circumstances. Every soldier in my unit will vouch.
I already spoke with them. They support what the commander has been saying. You're not quite yourself these days, are you?
No, I'm better. I intended to quietly exploit my position until you were dead and your war lost, but now I'm forced to be direct. You're hard to kill, Traherne, but I'll keep trying until I get it right.
At last, the impersonator is dead. Perhaps now the Pact can conduct its war without Zhaitan's interference and trickery.
Zhaitan's forces must consider the Pact a serious threat. Why else would they be so determined to destroy its leadership and headquarters?
I agree. They committed time and resources to crippling our alliance, but they failed. Now is the time to press our advantage before they regroup. We should start the invasion of Ore. It will be a long, hard road, but we will never have a better opportunity. I will begin the initial preparations. Stick close. Once I determine our strategy, I'll need you to execute the particulars. This is what we've been working for. From now on, we're taking the initiative. A united Tyria is stronger than any dragon.
For too long, Tyria has suffered. We gather now with newfound purpose. Zhaitan's servants storm our homelands. It is time to bring the battle back to Ore. This tide will wash over Ara and cleanse the dragon's corruption. Together, we will prevail. Let the ships sail. Let the troops march. And let us find victory!
A stirring speech, Traherne.
Absolutely. You've turned into a real war leader, Marshal.
Now if we can just keep the impetus you started, then we'll have a chance.
Thank you, friends. May fortune bless you. Good to see you. Let's get this briefing underway. Commander, I wanted to follow up with you about the Siska incident. I've made my share of mistakes, even without mesmer trickery. Some things cannot be undone, but they can be mitigated. War Master Kason has been fully briefed, and her entire unit is aware of how you were all misled. That won't bring back their comrades, but knowing the truly guilty party was punished does soften the blow.
Hey.
Someone I'd like you to meet. Thank you for your patience, Commander. Allow me to introduce the revered Sire Al-Rajid.
In the name of the Concordat of the Tetios houses, I greet you, ally of my ally.
It's an honor, Sire. I've heard that your people don't meet with land dwellers.
You speak truth. I have long owed Traherne. Now at last he has called upon me to honor my oath.
Scouts have discovered a sixth temple in Or, a lost shrine to a fallen god hidden underwater in the Strait of Malediction. Abaddon, the human god of secrets, was cast out of Ara by the other deities, and his name was erased from history. Very little remained. Zhaitan craves something inside that temple, so we must get there first. Sire will accompany you as a guide.
Tell me, Commander, can you fight? Is your oath made of steel? You'll need all your skills to travel with me.
I have yet to meet anything I couldn't overcome.
Intriguing. I look forward to this, Commander. Until then, may your steps be relentless. In the name of the Concordat, I greet you, Commander. The way ahead is dark and uncompromising.
Exactly what I'd expect from the ancient temple of a dead god.
Yes, of course. The Risen have already bypassed the wards and breached the temple. We must exterminate them. Be warned, there are dangers here not of the dragon. Powers ancient and unseen still occupy these halls. Look, the currents shift. The ocean's flow changes. These shrines and orbs must be how we gain entry.
Intruders, you trespass on the dragon's lands. You too will serve Zhaitan.
No, slave creature. We serve our oaths, and those oaths demand your death.
So be it. To death and beyond.
The dragon roars in fear. These ancient foundations will not withstand the sound. Escape quickly, before we are buried forever. Well fought and well won. Most impressive, my ally.
It was victory, but we still lost the artifact.
True, but we've made a dragon know fear. That, Commander, is a victory to relish.
Maybe we can still salvage this. What do you know about the creature we faced?
I do not know for certain. What is certain is that you've just encountered two of Zhaitan's most powerful servants, and that they escaped your grasp.
Not for long. I'm reporting to Traherne right away. We'll see if we can't organize a pursuit.
I will also carry this news when I return to be freed from my oath. May your steps be relentless, Hunter.
Welcome, Commander. I'd like you to meet Valiants Tegwin and Keris. They'll be assisting us with our They've supplied the artifact we needed to lure out the eyes of Zhaitan, an enchanted mirror that allows one to spy on Or.
It's a good plan, but is this the right bait? Its magic has to be strong enough to catch the attention of the eyes.
It should be. The mirror is more than just a vanity item. It's a portal to and from Or. The last time I used it, I was transported here.
Where I rescued her. Well, helped Traherne rescue her. Now I'm worried that the eyes will know more about the mirror than we do. It's Orion, right? And so are they.
We'll have to take that risk. Stand ready, everyone. I feel Zhaitan's influence closing in on us. Whatever draws near is deadly.
You cannot hide. You cannot surprise me. I see all. Zhaitan's gaze cannot be avoided. Your mirror belongs to the dragon. Soon, all will belong to the dragon.
The mirror's responding to his commands. He's activating a portal.
I am pleased to see you again. I am also surprised. No one told us we would have allies on our patrol.
No one told us there were Hylic in the Pact. Do you know these people, Commander?
What, you don't trust us? The commander saved my people from the Sunless Ones and showed us we had to join the fight against the dragons.
It's all right, Iknu. Tegwin is just being cautious. We're glad to have you. There's an Eye of Zhaitan hunting us, and we'll need your support.
You'll have it. Lead on, Commander, and the Hylic will follow.
Ouch. Looks like you saved me this time, Tegwin. I'm done with that mirror, by the way. Forever.
That makes two of us. If we hadn't run into the Commander's friends, we would have been in trouble.
This effort was difficult, but it proved fruitful. Thanks to you, my friends, we now have an eye to study.
Is that wise? The eye may still be connected to Zhaitan. Even dead, it could still be dangerous.
This encounter proved that we don't know enough about our enemies. Studying this eye will address that.
My point exactly. I'm going to hand this monster over to my best researchers. Meet me at Fort Trinity and we'll get started. Commander, may I present Professor Gore, who pioneered the theory of elder dragons consuming magic, and Scholar Vivian, a top expert on the Risen. We're going to send a small etheric charge through the eye of Zhaitan's corpse to try and project what it's seen. The goal is to witness what it saw right before we killed it. And since Orion magic is so unpredictable, you're here to keep things under control.
Ah, but unpredictability yields unexpected results. That's not always a bad thing. In fact, that's how most new discoveries are made.
True, but most new discoveries don't bring the wrath of Zhaitan down on their discoverers. Manipulating the dead eye may do precisely that.
We don't know what manipulating the dead eye will do. That's why we're not in Fort Trinity, and why the commander's with us. Let's begin. I sense no more of the Risen. I think we're clear. Our findings deserve serious scrutiny, but I'd like to hear your initial reactions.
I think we now have conclusive proof that the dragon sees through these eyes. The readings, the ebb and flow of magical energy, it all fits.
If these eyes are how Zhaitan sees, maybe that all-mouth creature is how Zhaitan eats.
I concur. Zhaitan's agents serve as extensions of its body, acting on its will. The eyes survey, the mouth consumes.
That answers many questions raised by my theory, actually. Now we know how the dragon hunts and eats. That's progress.
We can't let up. If killing the eye partially blinded Zhaitan, then killing the mouth should deprive it of sustenance. Pack scouts have traced one of the mouths to its lair. I want you to head out there and ensure that Zhaitan starts going hungry.
Ready to move on your orders, Commander. We've confirmed large numbers of artifacts in transit to this location. The Priory's readings for the manse are off the scale. If the mouth eats powerful magic, this place is a Winter's Day feast.
All right. I want you to lead a scouting party into the manse. Reconnaissance only. We need more information before we move in.
Understood. We'll be in and out before they even know we're there.
Slaughter, mayhem, and a mountain of corpses. That's how we do it.
For once we agree. Keep 'em coming, Zhaitan. We got plenty of blades left.
I can't decide if you two are inspiring or terrifying.
Well, that was fun. For you. But now it's official. That Norn's been gone for too long.
Right. Listen up, everyone. Our scouting expert here says we've waited long enough. Operation Sit on Our Furry Behinds is over. We're going in. Form up on the commander.
Oh, good. I love this part. Stealth is fun, but stealth kills are sublime.
Welcome, one and all, to my humble manor.
Come in, come in. Please forgive my meager accommodations.
What is this?
But fear not.
What's that?
My servants will attend to your every need. A toast to you, honored guests. Eat, drink, and join me in my salon for lively conversation. So I say, a light meal, some light conversation? Why do you need such heavy armor, my dear? Look, it's your friends. Lady Hector, you simply must introduce us to your companions. I do hope my servants were accommodating. Sometimes it's difficult to keep the lower orders in line. Hector, my dear, entertain our guests while I attend to the kitchen staff.
Now, let us entertain you. I sustain Zhaitan.
Oh, that was no earthquake. That was Zhaitan's roar. We made a dragon mad enough to throw a tantrum. Must be hungry, the poor little lizard.
Good. Now he knows we mean business. Nice work on that door, by the way. Who knew your hard head doubled as a battering ram?
Careful, Snarl. You keep up with the compliments and our commanding officers will assign us to permanent duty together.
Enough chatter. We suffered too many losses today. I should have sent a larger scouting party.
I disagree, Commander. You made the right call. You could have sent in all your scouts, and that Mesmer dandy would have taken them all. Come on, Marshal Traherne's waiting back at Fort Trinity. The mission was a success. Let's go tell him so.
Welcome, friends and allies. We've just defeated a powerful mouth of Zhaitan, effectively cutting off one of the dragon's major supply lines. Now, we have to press our advantage. Reducing Zhaitan's food supply was a good start. It's time to stem the flow of reinforcements.
Reinforcements? You mean...
He means dead bodies. Zhaitan's minions on the mainland are gathering and shipping corpses to Ore in massive numbers.
Precisely. Our next move is to confront Zhaitan in Ore. Before we strike, we need to weaken its position as much as possible.
A sound strategy. Starve the enemy and cripple its army before we invade. You learn fast, Marshal.
I have to, General. Now, the Commander and I need to confer and choose the best course of action. The goal is to stop Zhaitan's reinforcements. Our target is a Cathedral of Eternal Radiance on Ore's north coast. It's essentially a factory that manufactures Zhaitan's horde. I intend to shut it down, and I'm sending in a strike team to do just that. We don't know exactly how it functions, so I'm joining the team to make sure we have whatever rituals are required to get the job done. We'll pick up reinforcements on the way. Commander, you'll lead the strike team and protect me while I perform the rituals. Any questions?
None, Marshal. It's long past time we forced Zhaitan to fight its own battles, instead of hiding behind minions. Ready when you are.
Stand by. My ritual will show us how the ancient priests went about their grim tasks. Before Ore sank, this was the final resting place of Lissa's most loyal followers. The deceased were brought here so the officiants could perform the appropriate funeral rite. The first stage of the rite is grief. The loved ones of the deceased played an integral role. Here, they were encouraged to express the pain and rage they felt over the passing. They had to release these potentially destructive emotions before the rites could proceed. The funeral rites aren't done. I must perform my ritual at each key location. This next step was largely ceremonial, but was observed by rich and poor alike. They offered a valuable gift in an attempt to persuade the priests to resurrect the dead. Naturally, the priests refused, but the act of offering and accepting rejection remained a part of the rite. Finally, the family faced the inevitable reality that their loved one was gone. Here they were encouraged to mourn and to beseech Lissa to ease their pain. They prayed to their goddess for relief and to watch over the deceased in the mist. With the funeral rites complete, the deceased moved on to the ossuary. Next, they would prepare and inter the body. Ah, see there? They're taking the body down through that hidden door to the crypt below. That must be where Zhaitan's minions are creating new risen soldiers. And that's where we need to be.
Who dares? This is a sacred place. First to listen, now to Zhaitan? Be gone, or you'll defile it.
You already defiled it when you betrayed Lissa and desecrated the remains of her followers.
Lissa is gone. We serve the dragon now. Zhaitan will consume you all. Rise now, my servants. Rise now and destroy these enemies of our master.
Zhaitan's depravity continues to destroy everything it touches. At least now this place is safe. Well done, everyone.
We've crippled the dragon's spies, food, and troop supply. It's more vulnerable than ever. How do we exploit that?
We advance. I have a plan for a large-scale operation to push back enemy forces and establish base camps right here in Or. Now that operation can begin. All I need is time to regroup and organize our forces. You're just in time, Commander. We've established a perimeter, and we're shoring up the cavern's defenses. After your recent victory, Zhaitan's forces are weakened. The dragon feels us growing closer, like a thorn digging deeper into flesh.
Now we know Zhaitan can feel fear as well as rage. Its time in Tyria is coming to an end.
Brave words. Now let's make them come true. Come with me. The other commanders are inside. What are your recommendations for our next move?
Full offensive, sir. We've cut away Zhaitan's supports. Now's our chance to attack the main force, while they're still reeling.
I agree, but a land-based offensive would hit where the dragon is strongest. If we attack from the sea, we'd do more damage.
Marshal, we've lost contact with the squad investigating lost artifacts. I want to send in an extraction team.
I see. Commander, a word. I need your input.
Marshal Traherne, a risen legion is approaching. I saw the sigil of the Orion royal house. I think they're coming from the tomb of Prince Alhazred.
In life, Alhazred was said to be a cruel, vicious man. Death will have not improved him. Prepare to defend the encampment. To arm!
Greetings, Commander. Welcome to the Pale Reaver Company.
Pale Reavers is an interesting name. I notice you're all Sylvari.
Because Sylvari are immune to the curse of undeath, we've been given this dangerous mission. If we fail, we won't rise again.
Tegwin and I have been to this part of Or once before, when a cursed mirror sent us here. It's horrible, but recognizable.
The Marshal has ordered us to seize the docks, so packed war machines can be brought in by ship. My soldiers are trained in the art of stealth. If you want us to move invisibly, let me know. The camp to the south is our backup, but they haven't reported in. We need to check in there before we take the docks.
I hope nothing's happened to them, though by now I know better than to hope. Commander, will you lead the way?
That's one creepy-looking giant down there.
2 giants. 2 definitely creepy-looking giants.
Come on, we can take 2 giants. Where's your sense of fun?
I left it back at the Grove. I could go back and find it.
Time to go, soldiers. Commander, if you take the lead.
Hail, Commander. Gear Warband reporting for duty, with siege engines in tow.
Those tanks are amazing. You sailed with them all the way from Lion's Arch.
Oh, that wasn't the hard part. Keeping myself dry the whole trip. Now that was a problem. Cottonmouth. Ugh.
I've always wanted to ride one of these metal thingies into battle. I'm so excited.
Now you're my kind of Sylvari. We should grab a whiskey later.
Back to the task at hand. Those tanks give us the tactical advantage we need to position packed troops outside Arra. We'll finish unloading the war machines onto dry land, Commander. Once you're ready, meet us at the Western Colonnade.
Ah! This ordnance puts down the Risen even faster than it erases ghosts. Destroys them permanently, too.
Yeah, but ghosts poop away with hardly any residue. Risen are gunky, clogs the machinery.
The finest war machines of the legions won't be stopped by gunk, soldier. Get back to work. Mangonel's our whiskey expert. After this mission's successful, the first round's on him. Right now, I want to see tails in motion. Form up and move out!
Multiple contacts. Dig in! I'll get the tank repaired. Just clear those mines. Last chance to inspect your equipment. Make it quick. We're not stopping long. Move out!
I need a moment, Commander. I'm sorry. I know this is war, but I just can't believe she's gone. She was my partner, my friend.
I'm sorry too. Tegwin, we lost a good soldier today, but she died saving lives. We'll honor her memory.
Count on that. She was a tough old stick, and she fought well. When we get home, we'll all raise a toast to her bravery with the good stuff. And this time, I'm buying.
Tegwin is back with the Mother Tree now. Her memories, and our memories of her, will inspire generations of new Sylvari.
She'd love that. She always wanted to be the wise old elder that everybody listened to. For her and for me. Thank you, everyone.
Everybody, where do we stand? Are we ready to roll on the Risen?
Soon, Commander. We're waiting for Geargrind's warband to get here with the tanks. There's a heavily defended Risen post southeast of here. If we take that position, the Pact will control this whole area.
Lightbringer Ives, scouts report a wave of Risen heading for Caer Shadowfane.
From what side, soldier? From the shore or the mountains?
Both, sir. I think they're trying to take us out before the tanks arrive.
Ives, stay here and coordinate the defense. Burn, you're with me.
It's going well for now, but the Risen are relentless. I don't know how much longer we can defend the Caer. Keep your spirits up, Ives. Our tanks will make a difference. Listen to me. I'm praising Char ingenuity.
Pact ingenuity, tactician. Nobody's doing this alone. We need to roll those tanks toward the Risen line. Once we hold that position, the Pact has a straight route to Ara and Zhaitan.
Commander, the Pale Reavers volunteered to scout the route. We're tired, but together with you, we started this fight, and together we'd like to see it through.
Char tanks, human escort, and a Sylvari scout team. Doesn't get any better than this. We move on your command.
Hooah! Tanks primed and ready to roll out on your order, Commander. Commander, the soldiers want you to have the honor of being in the lead tank. They look up to you. It'd do them good to see you in the thick of it.
Thank you, Geargrind. Tactician Burn, have our soldiers defend the tanks while we deliver firepower right down the Risen's rotten throats.
Will do, Commander.
Our tanks won't make it through that rough terrain. The Risen will get close and tear us apart.
We could send in foot soldiers. What are your orders, Commander?
Geargrind, you and your warband hold this position with the tanks. Karis, Burn, you're with me.
Be cautious, Commander. We may have broken their line, but those Risen dogs will come back even stronger if we don't kill their leader.
Hey, watch the dog cracks.
He didn't mean anything by that, alley girl, I promise.
Ah! It's too powerful!
Deborah, no! I won't let you have her! Quickly, Debs, run! Just get out of here!
You're a frightened child.
Yeah!
Poor Sam. I can't believe he's gone. He was so brave.
He deserves a burial befitting a hero. Will you take him home to Divinity's Reach?
I'll do more than that. Sam was like family to me, so I'll take care of his family too. Come on, Allie. You're still a pack dog for now, but when this is all over, you can run in the fields all day and sleep by my fire at night.
Greetings, Commander. This is Havrun Gretchen, one of the spirit shamans of Holbreck. With her is Larenthir, War Master of the Vigil.
You're an inspiration, Commander. Many believe that if we can defeat Zhaitan, Jormag will be next. Your deeds bring great hope to the Norn.
Sylvari sing of your victories, and even the Char raise battle cries in your honor. You've been a spark to many flames.
It's my pleasure to meet you both. I hope today will bring another victory for Tyria. Marshal Traherne, what's our goal?
I have created a ritual that might cleanse a dragon's corruption. If it succeeds, this mission could be a turning point in the war. My research suggests that the royal tombs were deeply sacred. They may still hold the connection I need to restore the land with Or's fading life force. If the dragon discovers our attempt, he'll try to stop us. Havrun, you and Larenthir will defend the mouth of the tomb. Give us all the time you can.
We will, Marshal Traherne. By the bear, I swear we'll hold the line or die trying.
This is Azabe Kabar. Gretchen, you and Larenthir must hold the entrance. Zhaitan's forces will be relentless. Our survival is in your hands.
I understand, Marshal Traherne, and I won't fail you. You'll have the time you need.
This is the place. We'll perform the ritual here. The moment we begin, Zhaitan will know. Be ready for anything. No. We were so close. By the pale tree, it's impossible. All this, all these lives, wasted. All for nothing.
Traherne, didn't you see? The cleansing worked. For a moment, the spirit of the land rose up like a breath of wind.
We all felt it. It was as if Or's own soul was fighting to be free. The ritual was a success.
But the absolution didn't hold. Though sacred, the royal tombs weren't strong enough. This isn't the heart of Or. I wonder if such a heart still exists.
Wait. Remember the vision that the Pale Tree gave us? An Orian king spoke of the source. Maybe that's something that can help.
You're right. The source of Or. Yes. I think I remember hearing about such a thing. A priestess of Grenth and a shaman of the Norn spoke of it.
Those sound like solid leads. Which should I follow?
That, my friend, I shall leave to you. 2 roads to the same goal. The cleansing of Or, and eventually Zhaitan's own demise. We were so close. Closer than ever before, but we cannot give up hope. My Wyld Hunt is not in vain. This is a challenge we can overcome. You have my gratitude, Commander, for all you've done. Welcome, Commander. I've asked Priestess Rai to join us. Her knowledge of the God of Death is unmatched.
I never thought I'd be standing here. The Cathedral of Silence, the first temple of Grenth and Tyria. This is the Shrine of the 7 Reapers.
Who were the 7 Reapers? Priests of Grenth?
Mortal heroes that fought beside Grenth when he defeated the god Doom and ascended to the throne of death. They became his avatars. I can still feel the altar's sanctity. The secrets you seek are here, but Orian rites were very different. I may not be able to call the Temple Guardian.
Don't worry. Where faith ends, science begins. This is my Voed. That's very old energy detector to you, non-geniuses. At this setting, it triggers old emotional resonance, visions of the past. When we get to the altar, we'll watch the image residue of the Orians and see what they did.
Excellent. Follow me then, and we'll find that altar.
The Char are at the doorstep of Or. They plan to sear our nation as they did Ascalon. Vizier Kilbron says he can defeat them, but we must prepare for the worst. As Desmina did so many years ago, we shall call upon Grinth for his aid. If Or dies, at least we will be with him. Where is the god to whom I give my undying devotion? Where is the god to whom I may beg revenge against those who scorn me?
Hail, Ancient One! Rise from your frozen tomb. I, your priestess, call upon you in the name of Grenth himself.
Who dares summon me? A true priest? Is there such a thing in this fallen land?
I am Grenth's servant, and we have survived many dangers to speak with you. Please, hear us.
I see in your heart that you are no stranger to death. Very well. I will hear you out. But in return, you will kill in Grenth's name. The keeper of this shrine has fallen to Zhaitan. Grenth wishes him returned, but I am too weak to perform the task. Destroy the keeper, and I will answer your questions.
Thank you, Dark Reaper. We will do as you have asked.
We've done it. Praise Grenth.
Praise the eternal alchemy, you mean? It was my device that summoned that creepy guy in the first place.
We've fulfilled our part of the bargain, Reaper. Will you honor yours?
So shall it be. You seek the heart of war, then you must go to the very beginning. The rock where the gods first set foot upon this world. There is an artesian well hidden in the mountains behind the temple of Melandru. There, you will find the place where Or began.
Thank you. We'll go there and cleanse this land of the dragon's corruption. Or will once again be free.
Let it be so. I will see you again, heroes. In every swing of your enemy's blade, I will be there.
Soldiers of the Pact, you are not merely our best hope. You are our only hope. Your duty is to defend this entrance against the servants of the dragon, Zhaitan. The torch of renewal is in your hands. Together, we'll ignite a fire to burn away the corruption and set Or free. This is it, Commander. The source of Or, the font of its magic. The water from which this land draws life. Our scouts reported an immense artesian well at the center of this cavern. The waters run beneath the city of Arar, and from there to every corner of the nation. If we can purify this heart well, then the magic will spread as the water flows, carrying our cleansing ritual throughout Or.
Is there enough life left in Or to power the ritual?
The heartbeat of the land is weak and thready, but I can hear it. When we reach the source, only then will we know.
My own hand, my own form. My mind is no longer controlled by the dragon's curse. Praise the god. Thank you, brave heroes. Whatever wind guided you to this place, I bless that gale. My name is Riza, and I was the last king of Or. When the dragon rose, it plundered the royal tomb at the Save Kabar, and used the bodies of my family to create its most heinous servitors, the Eyes of Zhaitan.
The other eyes? Those were the kings and queens of Or.
Yes, we were chained to the dragon, corrupted into monsters that bore Zhaitan's vision, carried out its will. One by one, you have freed us. I, the most powerful of all, was placed here to guard the source of Or's magic. Yet you have found a way. I am deeply grateful. For this service, I grant you an ancient honor. You shall carry the title Champion of Or from this day forward. Remember us as we once were.
Thank you, King Riza. I am honored, and I will remember you and your people.
Now, begin your final task. Cleanse this land. Restore what has been stolen. Confront Zhaitan's power, and give Or a new beginning.
As you say, King Riza, it's time to wash away the corruption that dishonors this land. Rest in peace. We won't fail you. Well done. It's done. I can feel the waters beginning to radiate, with the energy of Khalid Bolg flowing everywhere the water touches.
Trahan, are you well? You look like you can barely stand.
The ritual has taken a great deal out of me, but I will live.
Let's make sure of that. Medic! We need a medic over here!
No need. Our work here is done, though the fight is far from over. We must regroup at Fort Trinity, and then we will have the opportunity to plan your next step forward.
I look forward to it. And Marshal, congratulations on the successful conclusion of your Wyld Hunt.
Hear that cheering, Commander? Savor it. Today, the Pact has triumphed, and my Wyld Hunt is finally at an end. Praise the pale tree. I fear you still have great and terrible things to do. To kill Zhaitan. Not long ago, I would have thought it impossible.
Cleansing Or seemed impossible, but we did it. With allies like ours, ridding the world of Zhaitan will be tough, but not impossible.
Well said. And you can rely on those allies to stand by you to the very end. My Wyld Hunt may be over, but the coalition we've built will fight on. I hereby pledge the entire Pact and all its resources to your task. By the Mother Tree and all who have made the ultimate sacrifice, Zhaitan will fall.
Thank you, Marshal. When Zhaitan falls, we'll all be there to see it. Then the celebration can truly begin.
Oh, we've done some scouting. It is no walk in the park.
Even with the 4 of us to help, it will be a difficult battle.
As always, Sylvari, your intent is good, but your math skills are subpar.
Zojja, you've come to help?
You think I'd let you go fight an elder dragon without a proper genius?
Zojja, I need you to know something.
I know. You blame yourself for Snaf's death. I blamed you for many years myself. But I'd blame myself if you went in and failed, and I could have helped. Snaf would have wanted me here.
Thank you.
You were saying, Keith.
Ara was once the city of the human gods. Even after the deities quit this sphere, it remained a golden, shining place. Until the folly of man sank it beneath the waves. Yet worse was still to come. The Elder Dragon awoke and pulled ore from its watery grave and raised hordes of undead minions from the twisted wreckage. Now Zhaitan's minions infest this place. We must rise above them if we hope to confront the Elder Dragon.
We'll need every airship if we're going to succeed in this mission. We must salvage enough power cores to get this one up and into combat. If Tyria is to have any hope, we must finish what we started. We must destroy Zhaitan.
And with your help, we will.
One more thing. We have to thank you for bringing us back together.
I don't know what I've done.
You have led, by word and by deed. Without your example, we would never have reunited. I tried to force them. I was wrong. You have restored us.
Are we going to get started? Or just chat Zhaitan to death? We're stuck. Someone has to stay behind to release the airship.
I'll do it.
No, Logan, we can't split up. Not this time.
Long ago, I failed all of you. I left you behind to fight. Now you need to leave me behind so you can carry the fight forward.
You don't have to do this.
Yes, I do. For all of you, and for myself.
Fine, but if you get yourself killed, I'll hound you into the mists.
Hey!
My destiny is taking root.
He had to stay behind.
Commander, you've made it! We need your help. We're landing troops in Ara and engaging Zhaitan's minions. Our transports and troops are getting shelled by enemy emplacements. We need someone to help clear a safe landing zone.
Come on, let's give the Skald something to sing about.
Another ship coming in, and it's a huge one.
When it comes alongside, get aboard.
Abandoned ship! Get to the larger vessel!
Everyone onto the other ship!
Come on, you laggards! We don't have all day.
Logan, you're alive!
Do you think I was going to let you go up against Zhaitan alone?
Logan, I'm delighted to see you're well, I thought.
I know. I got out by the skin of my teeth and hopped a lift with this ship. It's a new design.
Impressive. I think this is just what we need to take down a dragon.
Everyone to your battle stations. We're going in. Something big is coming.
Look at the size of that thing!
The Elder Dragon is no more.
We have succeeded, but only by coming together to fight a greater foe. You have shown the way. We, and all of Tyria, are in your debt.
Victory at last. With Zhaitan defeated, the corruption it wrought can be undone. The dragon's undead minions that still infest Tyria will now gradually be exterminated. One day soon, that plague will be but a memory.
Courage, skill, and friendship brought the dragon low. Let this day never be forgotten.
A victory that all Tyria can share.
This is not an ending. There are other dragons out there. Other battles.
You shambling fuzzball. Can't you just be happy?
I was being happy.
Will you return to your queen now, Logan?
No. Not until I know that Kryt is safe.
Meaning he's up for more fighting. See? Logan's happy too.
Snaf would be proud of us. Especially of you, Zojja.
Proud that we didn't screw up and plant our faces in the mud again, you mean? Well, I guess he would, at that.
So, who's next? Jormag, Primordus, Krokatoric?
As dawn scatters shadows, so we will destroy them all. We could not have done this without you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can count on me.
Good. Because Air is right. The rest of the dragons are still out there, waiting.
Hiding from the crowds, Traherne? That won't do. The world needs to see the Pact Marshal celebrating.
Not hiding, my friend. Thinking. Completing my Wyld Hunt lifted a weight from me, but Zhaitan is still a terrible threat. Now that threat is truly gone, it feels like the sun has finally emerged after a cold, endless night. I can't help but wonder, what's next? Now that we've formed this unstoppable alliance and tempered it in battle, where do we take it?
To the next challenge, the next victory. There are more Elder Dragons to confront, and now we know how. We know they can be defeated. First, we celebrate. We won, Marshal. It would be a crime not to stop and appreciate that. Come on. There's an army of people and an ocean of libations waiting. All of Tyria deserves to share this triumph, including you. Join us.
Zhaitan's defeat has saved many lives. More importantly, it has restored hope to a desperate world. The dragons are not stars in the sky. They can be counted. They can be fought. One day, we will kill the last of them. Only then will Tyria be safe. This is a new beginning for Orr, and for Tyria. A clear sky after a long storm. This is a dawn that Tyria shall never forget. This day is ours.